Day 5 has arrived at the Montana's Brier. The shores of Lake Okanagan, there's downtown Kelowna. All the Brier coverage right here on TSN. Prospera Place opened up in 1999. Home to the Kelowna Rockets in the Western Hockey League. They will host the Memorial Cup next year, but this year it's all about the top curling in Canada. Montana's Brier, there's your feature. Saskatchewan, Alberta, next on TSN. Coming inside the building, as always, glad you're watching our coverage on TSN. Brian Mutrick, Kathy Goche. It is the morning show. And Kathy, we all began with the action back on Friday night, and one of the storylines was some of the frost creeping into the ice. Well, I think it's creeped out. They've done a great job here, and you're noticing the effects on the ice, especially last night.
Well, last night it really disappeared. And what starts to happen when the ice conditions get better is the brushers become a more integral part. Precision, we saw some great shot making. The better teams are going to start to shine.
Brad Gushue has won 3 consecutive Brier titles. And Brier Brad has showed up again here in Kelowna. Last night, taking on another undefeated team in Team Carruthers out of Manitoba, and Brier Brad, he's here.
Well, he had the opportunity here for 3. So much discussion about would Brendan Botcher fit in really well. In this event, they've moved him into the house. It has been seamless. The team looked really, really good.
Gushue hasn't lost at the Brier since 2024 against Jamie Cooey, so undefeated 7-3 over Reed Carruthers. James Gratton, it took an extra end, but he wins 5-4 over Newfoundland and Labrador. Kevin Cooey getting a little momentum now, a 10-2 win. And John Epping representing Northern Ontario, 8-6 over the host province. So when you look at Pool A, only 3 teams will qualify for the playoffs, and look at the usual suspects there. Gushue, Carruthers, Epping, and Dunstone. Pool B, McEwen still undefeated. Jacobs 3-0, and that is our focus. Jacobs, Kleiter this morning here on TSN. Brad Jacobs, Olympic gold medal. He's won a Brier before, obviously new with this roster. And this week already, he put up 20 points in a game against the Northwest Territories. A record, by the way, when it comes to the Brier since the playoffs began back in 1980. But Brad, you know, he's not a mean guy. He's got to do what he's got to do to get ready for the rest of the schedule. And
I really supported what he did. They had a very soft schedule. They had the bye early. Well, how do you get prepared for the rest of the week? You play the way that you're going to have to beat teams like Gushue, like Epping and Dunstone. And so are they scoring a lot of points? 10 extra yesterday? Yes, but they are ready.
Rylan Kleiter out of Saskatchewan won the province here for the very first time. He told me last night his welcome to the Brier moment was making a shot. The crowd went wild. He's like, wow, this is pretty cool. But now to be successful, what kind of style does he have to play here? Well,
he has to go back to what got him here. Rylan is known as a great drawer. You would never know that by the stats. He has hit his way through his wins. Jacobs will not let him. And has he waited too long to figure out the ice, Muddy?
Brad Jacobs ranked number 2 in Canada. He's got a new team, but he's got that old swagger back. First draw coming up next in our feature game from beautiful Kelowna right here on TSN.
The 2025 Montana's Brier is presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By PointsBet, the official sportsbook and casino partner of Curling Canada. By New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. And by BKT Tires, growing together.
Such a great part of Canada, the Okanagan Valley in the southern interior of BC. Canada's 3rd largest metropolitan area, next to Vancouver and Victoria. It's been a wonderful stay so far. Here in Kelowna, it is Alberta versus Saskatchewan. 2 prairie rivals going head-to-head right here on TSN. Our first game on this Tuesday morning. Time to meet the teams. Brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. And this team out of Saskatchewan, Rylan Kleiter, Josh Mattern, Matt Hall, and Trevor Johnson as they curl out of the Newtown Curling Cup in Saskatoon and out of the Glencoe Club in Calgary. Team Alberta, Brad Jacobs, Mark Kennedy, Brett Gallant, and Ben Hebert at lead. The draw to the button before each and every game, not only important for the game itself, but it's also one of the tiebreakers when it comes to making the top 3 and the playoffs. And this time, Alberta dialed in. Look at that. Jacobs, 15 centimeters.
Great numbers.
The last stone draw, so they earn the hammer here in this game. And to start us off for Team Saskatchewan, the first stones here coming from Trevor Johnson. And Kathy, in a conversation with Rylan Kleiter last night,
Line's good.
he said this first experience, the Brier, has been phenomenal. He played a rookie in his opener, Nova Scotia, as he took on Owen Purcell. And he admitted, too, you know, they kind of ran it up and down that first game. They were both just trying to feel their way into the championship, feel their way into the ice. I don't think he's going to have that luxury now, a couple days in, a few games in, against a hungry Brad Jacobs.
No, Brad and his team are here to play, and they will utilize every opportunity to get the best out of the ice, to push their opponents to tough shots. And the only question mark for Rylan now is, can you flip the script? You've been playing a very open style, and the teams that you have played have let you. This team will not. Are you ready?
Yep, Brett. Yep. Very nice. Well done.
Oh, sorry. Line's good.
Top 8.
Line's good. Little bit of room.
Kind of hanging right now.
Josh.
No, this team has been around for a long time. I think a lot expected that they would be in the 2020 Canadian Junior Final, and it was in a semifinal. Rylan was short on the draw against 5 early on, and that really swung the difference. But Rylan himself, Joshua, and Trevor have been together for a long time, and so they know each other very well. And in an event like this, when it's your first time, your comfort with your teammates makes a huge difference.
To your point, Kathy, together for over 12 years.
Yeah.
And then a cool story when you talk about those junior relationships. So 2 years ago, they lost their lead. And Rylan knew Matt Hall from the World Juniors because they went with Tyler Tardy together.
Yes.
And Rylan was the alternate.
He was.
Said they stayed in touch. And now Matthew's actually made the move. He's moved to Saskatoon. So he's there now. You talk about centralized training. They're together. Season 2 together. And getting familiar now in their first Brier together.
1.5, 2.
Well, for Matt, he did skip in a Canadian Juniors. He has played up and down in the order, and a great example of somebody who is prepared to play whatever position is needed on a team. You'll see Matt go into the house and hold the broom for Rylan's shots. Part of that, of course, is the fact that he skipped for a long time, can read line really well. And you'll also see some great brushing by Joshua and Trevor.
Yeah, he won a Canadian Junior with Tyler Tardy after he lost one to him out of Ontario. And, of course, Tyler is here as well, representing Team Alberta and Kevin Cooey.
Close, Brett.
What a year he has had already.
Well, and mixed doubles winning with his wife Jocelyn. They will try to make sure Canada qualifies for the Olympics, and there you go. Just another example of the season he's had so far. Kathy, let's begin now with our keys to the game, and we'll start with Team Saskatchewan.
Well, we've talked about the defensiveness of Rylan and his team. So a balanced attack, you have to be able to kind of find the middle and play some draws. And when you get into trouble today against Brad Jacobs, make the bail point, maybe one rock before you normally would, so you don't get yourself into a heap of trouble.
Come on, Trev, gotta go. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, very nice. And for Team Jacobs, well, you look at the biggest difference in percentages, and it is at the lead position. So Boss Benny is going to be able to put your team in really good shape. And because you're playing a rookie and because you have played a lot of different shots, push the envelope early with the Saskatchewan team, make them make precise shots.
Keys to the game brought to you by Sponge Towels. Absorb life. All of it.
Clean, yep.
Weight's good.
Clean, yep.
Easy, yep. Wait,
Clean, clean.
Little heavy.
Clean. Clean, straight.
Hard,
Hard, bend.
hard.
Never mind, that's good.
Okay, good try.
You can hear the intensity,
Perfect.
Kathy, in this
Little
team.
light.
I asked Brad last night, what do you make of the schedule? Like, what do you make? Well, they're undefeated, but he said it felt slow. Like, it felt slow for them starting this event. He said, though, it's time to flip the switch. We're going to empty the tank every game. We're going to curl hard. He said the boys are playing great and throwing it great in front of me. So maybe you don't want to be Team Kleiter because you almost feel like, you know, the Lion's getting released from the cage here and they're ready to roll. And we'll see. You can hear the intensity anyway, so we'll see how this game unfolds this morning.
Whoa, whoa, yep. Whoa, 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 rolling big, rolling big. Rolling big.
Now, something very unique in this game that is going to help both skips is that both thirds are left-handed. And so Mark is going to be able to read off Joshua, and so is Joshua going to be able to read off Mark, and so will the respective skips.
Turn with
10.5.
board. Out turn, board.
10. 10.5. I like that, Mark.
10.5.
Nose plays
Hey,
okay, guys.
nose is fine. Nose is fine.
Nail the weight. Yeah.
One of the most accomplished players and respected players in the game.
And one of 5 lefties in the entire field here at the Montana's Brier.
Clean.
And for Mark Kennedy, you remember, too,
Yep.
he knows Brad
Little heavy.
Jacobs pretty well. Spent 3 years with Brad Jacobs out of Northern Ontario.
Want to go behind the red? Curl.
Long-time
Curl.
teammate of Ben Hebert, obviously going back to the Kevin Martin days.
Okay, good shot. Throw.
And great success in this province, the Olympics in Vancouver back in 2010. You talked to a lot of the young players, and you asked them, you know, who did you look up to or role models? And Kevin Martin comes up a lot, and you think about 2010 and, you know, Mark, John Morris, and that incredible team. And remember at the Brier, Kathy, they won back-to-back Briers undefeated, and just because of the way the schedule played out, they couldn't come compete in
Because of the
Halifax. But
Olympics.
I mean, that run really stands out to a lot of young players
Anything, Trev?
that are in the field here.
Good throw. 10. Oh boy. 10-0? 10, yeah.
Well, both thirds effective going through the hole, neither getting the roll that they wanted to.
Wait through good. Wait through. Clean. Yep. Yes, Brett.
Gotta go hard on this one, Brett. Come on, buddy.
Hard. Hard.
Gotta go hard.
Hard. Hard.
Right to it.
Hard. No roll.
And that little flip
Really good
inside. Like a little piece poking out
Great
though.
weight, Mark.
I think so.
Ooh, that was a good sweep.
Good start. Good
I
throw.
wouldn't say I was locking that in, that it was going to
Real
hold.
close.
Call, yeah. Little soft. I wouldn't even call it. 11-5. 11-5 to 12.
Okay.
Yeah. 11-5 to 12 here.
So just easy weight.
You talked about that under 20 experience, Kathy. 4 Canadian juniors for Kleiter, a couple bronze medals.
Felt pretty good to me.
11-5, it might come down to 11-7
He says
kind of thing.
over 40 people were here from Saskatchewan supporting Kleiter Nation, and a lot of green in the crowd, family and friends sticking around. So great to have familiar faces here to cheer you on in your first Brier.
11-5. Easy. 11-5. Clean.
And nice for Saskatchewan fans because Mike McEwen, of course, also from Saskatchewan. You get to come to the Brier and have 2 teams.
Hard.
McEwen's team qualifying on the CTRS points, Canadian team ranking system, and Kleiter winning the province. And he told me, you know, to beat Steve Laycock in that final, it was a cool moment. It was an up and down provincials, but to win that province, he says it's so competitive each and every year, and it was pretty special to earn your way here.
Thought if I kicked out with 11-5, it'd kind of come down to 11-7-ish, so.
11-9 on his cups.
Okay.
If you can get 2/3 low on that, be really nice.
Now, one of the things that this team said when they made the change and went to Brad Jacobs over Brendan Botcher is they were looking for incredible intensity And there are few, if any, that have the intensity of Brad Jacobs.
Whoa. Curl.
Curl.
Clean.
Curl.
Clean.
Clean.
Straight.
Yep.
Straight.
Clean.
Straight. Straight.
Hard back.
Straight.
No,
Straight.
roll. Sit.
No.
Didn't want to poke out that other side. And Kathy, to follow up on what you said and talking to Jacobs.
No.
The one thing
Maybe
with this team,
11-6, so he was
you
real
got a lot
close.
of big personalities on this team. And Jacobs said what he's
shot.
proud of with his squad, they don't let things fester on the team. We'll ask questions. We'll hit it right away. So if there's something that happened, everyone's empowered. Everyone has that opportunity after a game. Let's talk it out so nothing will fester.
Make him look at
And,
something.
you know, it's a good attitude when you got
great.
4 veteran guys who've all won.
Same weight here.
Ryland feels that he can see enough to get through that hole. There's been enough stones through it that he should feel comfortable with the path. But this is the first time a right-handed person will try to navigate that port.
Hair
Clean.
less.
Clean.
11-5.
Yep.
11-5.
Clean.
Hair more.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Through the port, and the shooter wants to stick around. Sometimes that'll grab, and Mark's trying to
Make sure it doesn't.
the veteran savvy there. Yeah, and I don't think that is in. So pick a path here on the ice. Obviously the blank, but pick a path and throw a turn.
Give you like
Chart
a
it.
10.5.
Get in your back pocket for later.
Well, I think the Kleiter team will be very happy with their performances, and they played a variety of shots. You're playing somebody that you have looked up to for a long time, a very solid team, and they more than held their own against Brad Jacobs here in 1.
Just the 3rd time all week that they don't convert with hammer. You saw the hammer efficiency. It's been
10-1,
real
Cubs.
dialed in.
Okay.
Brad knew the schedule would start to dial up now. You can feel the intensity here. Saskatchewan, Alberta, always a great matchup at the Montana's Brier. The Brier back in Kelowna for the first time since 1968. That year it was Alberta's Ron Northcott winning the tankard. That Memorial Arena right around the corner from Prospera Place. This facility built back in 1999 as we feature Alberta and Saskatchewan here on this Tuesday morning.
All you got. Everything you
A
got,
blank
Mark.
in the first end, so
Keep going.
once again in 2 it
Everything you got,
is
Mark.
this team out of the Glencoe Club in Calgary, Yellowstones with
Keep
hammer.
going. There it goes. Hard mark. Every inch counts. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Good sweeping, guys.
Not bad.
So a critical day, Kathy, when it comes to qualifying for the playoffs or keeping your hopes alive. You see our feature on sheet A. Phoenix Assalan has rebounded nicely. He's got a 2-2 record taking on the Northwest Territories, looking for their first win. Mike McEwen, my goodness, made the final last year. He's off to a 4-0 start. And it's PEI and Nova Scotia battling over on sheet D.
12-5.
And what a difference a year makes. Last year, Tyler Smith 1 win away from the playoffs, and he's got the same team. They just have not been able to get together, firing on all cylinders so far.
Hard.
Trying to save this one for Matt Hall, and they will.
12-5, Ryan.
Oh boy. Yep. 12-5. Good weight call.
Board.
11.5.
Okay.
You should be good.
Should be a lot of green in the crowd here, Kathy. You got 2 Saskatchewan teams. You got PEI on the ice, and you have an update here on sheet C, McEwen and Scoffin.
Well, an opportunity for 2 here for Mike, already lying 1.
You talk about all the good junior players from past
I
years.
don't think so, Flash. It's not running.
Scoffin, one of those players
It's not
as well.
running, tight.
Thomas Scoffin, what a
It's out
successful
there.
junior career. And he himself,
there.
along with Kurt Drummond, the back end, the best that we have seen coming out of Yukon. He's made so many great shots already
Mike.
this week, but is down too early against Mike McEwen.
Huh?
McEwen
Didn't
lost the
curl that
Canadian
much.
final back in the day to Brad
I said
Gushu.
it,
I mean, you
but-
can just look around the sheets of ice and the rosters, Kathy. So many great players have come through that U20 championship.
Love it.
Ryland's saying that Matt Hall is the analytical guy on the team. Likes to map up all the situations, keeps the team calm.
He's a
Had good
big,
demeanor.
big numbers guy.
Yep. Yep. Keep going. Sit there, baby.
Okay. Nice.
Very nice.
Looked a little quieter at the
And
end.
some updated scores. Quebec a 1-0 advantage. You just saw the Mike McEwen update there. 2-0 in a blank. PEI Nova Scotia. It is Owen Purcell has the hammer over there on sheet D.
12.5.
And in that Quebec game, he was forced against 2.
12.5.
Yeah.
And so that Northwest Territories team trying to start to feel comfortable in their first Brier appearance.
A 4-time Brier champ.
Clean.
A lot of time with Gushu.
Whoa. Clean.
Making the move to Alberta now with Jocelyn.
Curl. Clean.
Nice.
Curl.
Nice.
Whoa.
Curl.
Nice.
Go ahead, Mark. Break to curl. Curl. We'll try to kill it. Kill that thing. Whoa. Kill that thing. Good spot. Very good.
Very nice, bro.
Very nice.
It's good. It's nice to save that.
What?
Solid hack.
Yeah, 12. I got lots.
12, yeah.
Even if you roll.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, 12 boys. Clean.
It's a pretty cool moment, Kathy, for the
11-5.
Mattern
12.
family,
Whoa.
as the alternate is John Mattern, Josh's dad. And he got into a game.
He
wasn't
did.
supposed to, but they were bugging John. Said, "Come on, man, let's get you in if we get a
Take it right.
chance." They enticed him, and they said John puts in so much time behind the scenes to help this team, so it's a special moment for him to get in. And apparently, the scoring judges weren't kind to him though on the shots he threw.
Well, I saw the 2. They hit the hack, and they were draws.
Ryland said though that was a sweeping error. He said, "There's John on the bench." So,
Well, special moment to play with your son in the Brier, even if it's only for one end.
pretty cool.
That's perfect. What do you see on Mark board?
At the most, yeah.
11 and a half?
I like.
That's what I threw.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you do want to kill it. You're right. Yeah, that's a fine result because we got the back.
Feel that way, buddy.
That's some really good shot making by Ryland and his team, looking very calm out there. It's great to see.
Weight's good. Clean.
11.
Little heavy. Clean. Yep. Clean. Whoa. Curl.
Curl, guys.
Clean.
Curl.
Clean.
Oh.
Yep.
Hard.
Hard. Roll. Hard. Stay with
For
it.
Kennedy.
Go. Hard,
Little
hard,
hit,
hard,
little
hard,
roll,
go.
top button, and
Good shot,
buried
Great shot.
for Team Alberta.
What a great shot.
Good sweeping, guys.
Way to go, Mark.
Good scrub.
Beauty.
Thanks.
Good job, buddy.
That was, wasn't to say anything, but it was minimum ice compared to mine.
Well, I talked about how Ryland Kleiter and his team. Ryland's a football player, and he's been doing the all-out blitz, get rid of everything that's been in play. These are the numbers on the left. This is the skip and the third. How many draws versus how many hits? It is disproportionate from what you would see from other teams. And so what they're doing so far this morning, that soft weight, the draws, a really good testament that this team has discussed that and know that they must balance their attack if they're going to continue to win and beat teams like Jacobs.
Ryland played 4 years for the Saskatoon Hilltops, 1 season with the University of Regina Rams. He was a receiver and a kicker, Kathy. I asked him, what do you love more, curling or football? And he said, oh, curling for sure. My body feels healthy.
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, you're 26. Like, wait till you're actually old. But obviously he loves the game, loved both of the games, football, curling. But thriving here now on the big stage, the big show here at the Brier.
3/4 is close. Just go on for the double. We'll see where it rolls. Make the double, you bet.
9 1/4, guys.
Really good dig out.
Put the weight right here.
by Josh. And so now the opportunity, because it is open to play the double, and you hear that that is the bigger importance to Brad Jacobs, and they'll worry about the roll. The roll naturally would go under the corner.
Clean. 9.5. Clean.
Mark's out turn. Here in 2.
Clean. Yep. Yep.
Lead's good.
Whoa, no. Clean. Curl.
Curl. Watch the roll.
Hard Brett. Hard Brett. Hard Brett.
Good.
And Brad would have seen Mark's release a lot, having played together for a number of years in Northern Ontario.
Great throw, Mark. Close, man. That's okay. Hard line call.
Rock set with it, eh?
Yeah.
And see, there's that little piece for Ryland. Plus, with the curl that we're getting now, those guards are high enough that as long as you can see a piece and you throw the quiet weight, you will get the movement to get underneath.
Okay.
Real nice for you here, bud.
Yeah.
Ryland saying these two teams played each other on the Slam circuit and Swift Currents this season. Close game. They ended up losing that game to Jacobs.
Heavy.
Close. Close. Straight. Hard. Hard, Matt. Hard. Hard.
Go, 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 go. Okay, good shot.
Well, great brushing by Josh, but they almost overbrushed it in terms of having it roll underneath. He carved really hard, and then it went further than they expected.
They were kind of able to do that with Mark's there,
Yeah.
too. Or no, it was Brett's, actually.
Yeah, I was just
could
hearing
carve it
that.
and
I
get
thought
it
it was a
going.
really good throw, but once I heard heavy,
It was
I just
always
want
a
to get the
little bit.
curl on. I was a bit surprised at how well they got that to come up.
Me too.
That'll be okay.
Update time on sheet D, and it's Smith and Purcell. And you talk about, you know, who you idolize coming up. As you watch Purcell come out, how does a Nova Scotia kid deliver a tuck slide? Well, his favorite player, he said, was Jeff Stoughton. And when he watched Jeff, he tried to emulate him and slide like him. And there you go. There's the Nova Scotia player with the Manitoba tuck.
Well, if he wants to emulate Jeff Stoughton, he's going to find the forefoot on this because that's what Jeff did so well. And it is against 3 that Owen is drawing against.
14-2. 14-2. It's a little close. A little tight.
Can't afford a third loss, Owen Purcell.
Hey, good, Owen. Nice shot.
Oh, that's nice.
very
Draw
nice.
weight. Somewhere Jeff Stoughton is clapping. There you go, right on the button. City had a chance to meet Jeff Stoughton. And talked a lot about curling. Sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes, but he said in that case it was pretty darn cool.
Pretty close. I like that. 12, little flop under. 12, little flop under.
They got the double, but it is exposed. You can see when you look at that guard, it's edge to edge from the hack for Ryland.
Lots of curl here, hey?
And if he can roll
We
underneath,
could have cut the nose on mine almost.
Yeah.
So for
make
yeah.
it difficult
Don't
for
get close to that guard
Jacobs
even.
to blank.
Yeah, off that one. A little more.
Still
Same
low.
way.
Clean.
Still up.
Whoa.
11-5.
Matt. Clean. Clean. Close.
Good rotation here, Kathy.
Whoa, whoa. Curl. Curl. Curl.
Come on, trying to finish this stone now.
Shot right.
Oh, little flip inside, but with that high guard, I think the blank is still there.
It is.
Yeah.
So close.
Close. Good.
Okay.
Good. Good sweet.
11-7.
Good. Oh, it came. Okay. I threw it harder than my out turn, I thought, but and they both thought that too. Cool.
Ah,
Close.
yeah.
Close. Just stay.
I think you can give me an inch more, to be honest
Yeah,
with
you know, for years, you know, talking about Brad Jacobs joining this team, he said he emptied the tank and felt burnt out. It felt like a job, not like a love of the game anymore. And
Pretty close.
you put a lot of pressure on yourself, Kathy, when you're in these situations. So spent some time away, focused on his family, his career. Played with Reed Carruthers for a bit. He said he felt a little more free playing there, and he's really found his passion for the game again. And he's back with a new team.
And that's so important. If you're not loving it, this is not your job. Well, it is for some, I guess.
Very good, Brad.
But you want to be out there enjoying it. Wonderful shot.
So not for a lack of rocks in play, but a couple of blanks in our feature. Kleiter, Jacobs here from Kelowna. Trevor Johnson lead stones for Team Saskatchewan. A blank in 1, a blank in 2. So here in 3, once again, it is Alberta with Hammer throwing the yellow stones.
This is good. This is good.
That's interesting, Kathy. You know, you feel like you grow up with some of these players. Brad Jacobs, his Brier debut, 2007.
Yeah, we're thinking freeze anyways. If he's deep.
Al Harnden threw 4th stones back then, and all those years later ended up skipping that great team. They won the Brier in Edmonton. They won the gold in Sochi.
Hold on.
And it's so tough, though, to get back on top of that podium here at the Montana's Brier.
Clean. Hold clean. Hold clean.
Weight's good.
Clean. Easy, Brett. Easy, Brett. Whoa, it's got a curl. Curl. No. Curl, Mark. Curl.
Weight's good.
Clean. Curl. Go ahead, Mark.
Northwest Territories and Team Quebec over on
Roll it, Mark.
Sheet B, and Aaron Bartling, the import, representing the Hay River Curling Club from the north.
And he's facing 2. He put a lot of pressure on Quebec in the first end, but they have returned the favor and needs to get right to the lid and maybe even tap the Quebec stone back about a millimeter or 2 to score.
All the way. Right to it.
Good rush.
Very
to the
nice
button.
shot.
Yeah, a little tap, and there's a single. So 1-1 game on Sheet B.
One yellow.
I think it's been pretty overwhelming for Aaron and the team, and so starting to feel comfortable at this point in the week.
And our feature, little roll there, 4-foot shot stone for Saskatchewan.
Does that look too tough?
Well,
I like the runner.
This is a great shot.
super low. Remember the first game here? Right in the middle, Cops. A little more ice than that. Maybe a hair less. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. You're on the line, Kyle.
Whoa, curl. 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 Whoa, curl. 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 Straight.
Mine. Roll the shooter.
Whoa, guys.
Okay, good throw.
And he'll make the double.
God, Brett.
You know, one important thing for Brad Jacobs, Kathy, on Brett Gallant, he actually made sure that they were going to roommate together and be together on the road, because he said, I didn't really know him very well. They butted head lots back in the day, you know, battling tough teams all that time. He played with Brad Gushue. So he wanted to make it a priority to get to know Brett really well. So they run the room together, on the road together. He calls him such a pro, like a professional curler, just does all the right things. But he can also take the serious hat off and have fun with the guys too, and you know, pretty cool that Jacobs wanted to make sure that he was dialed into this team.
Well, I think that's really smart, and the one thing that we know about Brett Gallant is that he is one of those special players, not only by his ability, but he's a winner. There are people that go on teams that make a difference in terms of chemistry. He did that for Gushue. Could certainly do that for Jacobs.
Board weight, half a rock's close.
So the side that's exposed is towards the corner guard Team Jacobs have, so a great opportunity to hit and roll underneath.
Wait's real good, Brett.
Wait's good. Clean.
Just clean.
Wait's good. Yes.
And another update. It's Mike McEwen, Thomas Goffin over on Sheet C, Kathy.
Well, very similar to the last update, it is the lid that Thomas Scoffin is chasing. Needs to get right to the top. Mike putting pressure on the team from the north this morning. Facing 2.
A little heavy. Line's good. Clean.
In our feature, that center guard still available as the shooter rolled out, and Saskatchewan will come around one more time.
Yep. Hard.
And now just make sure you drag it there. Got to get to the button for shot stone in the update, and they can't get it there. Cannot get it there, so a stolen point. And a little frustration for Scoffin as Mike McEwen leads after 2.
Still there, line only.
T. Line's perfect.
T line top button.
14-5. Got to sit for line now.
T.
Whoa. Whoa. Just got to sit. Sit. Okay, Jay. Good. Just a little. Trevor's walks are running really straight, too. Just a little reminder. Like, I don't think you were that tight, Maddie, but just a little bit.
That's just what I wanted to check.
Yeah.
That looks like
So there's that very small piece
I was thinking the other way.
available, but this is a great example of how good this ice is, how consistent it is, that when you have a rock that is essentially buried, you know that if you throw a hack or a quiet weight, you can get right to the face of it.
Well, you talked about it a lot, Kathy. Chief ice technician Greg Owasco, they decided let's get some dehumidifiers here, and brought 4 in from Vancouver.
They did.
And you don't even notice the frost anymore. Even watching you guys last night, the update sheets, the feature game, you didn't see any frost at all.
You really got to go. Really got to go.
And Gallant, all he's got to knife this thing over to get a piece of that red stone, enough to pop it free. Heber alertly right on it. Oh, man, and they hold the shooter as well.
That's taking his time there.
Very nice.
That's pretty good.
Very nice.
It's very good behind the corner.
I agree, yeah.
Removes the red stone.
Really got to go. Really got to go.
You heard Brad say it's taking its time, so it certainly is finishing as you look at it, but the anticipation was that it would curl a little bit more.
Nice try, Mark.
That's taking.
Which is what you just threw.
And just sweep the difference.
Yeah, I think so.
I like that, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go for same then.
Okay.
Same kick, hair better out, evens perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, for Josh has to be careful here. He's playing down to that stone. The yellow stone that is guarding it is ever so close to the house. A splittable stone for sure. So they're taking extra ice to make sure they miss it, and so that means the weight has to be perfect.
Almost to it. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Okay, clean. To it. Whoa.
Well done.
Kathy, let's revisit your keys to the game and you know, the style of play off the top of the broadcast. You said, you know, for Ryan Kleiter to have to go at a team like Brad Jacobs. Your assessment so far?
Good.
Terrific. We talked about a balanced attack because I've watched every one of Ryland's games, and it has been predominantly hitting. They've obviously had a big discussion and said, we can't do that with this team, and they are going head-to-head with Jacobs. They're playing the right kind of weights. They're not afraid of playing draws like we just saw Joshua make. Really a huge success.
And Ryland talked about it with me too last night, Kathy. They've played a lot of the top teams on tour.
Sure they have.
Really hard, and so, you know, once you arrive here, and he talked about my welcome to the Brier moment, the crowd, the cheer, the big lights, and the TV games. You know, they're ready for this. They're ready for the moment, and they're showing it this morning.
Right on it.
And I think they were ready before, Muddy. I was just overwhelmed by the hit mentality that I hadn't seen.
We're not bumping.
Straight.
You think that speaks, though, Kathy, to just maybe a little bit of nerves?
I do.
Yeah, right? You want
I do.
Way to go, Marcus. Good Mark.
So the Rocks piling up there. Behind the tee line, shot stone is Alberta with Hammer. Jacobs has Hammer here in 3.
Interesting. They called back line. It was came down.
Yeah.
14-4 I had.
Okay, perfect.
So Ryland will try to do the same thing.
Yeah. I thought I was saying kicking more out exactly.
What did I have? 14. Should be normal speed here now, boys.
Yeah.
14-5 on that one.
Yeah, his ran good, so
Be a little patient with the judge. It's going to just get a little better every rock, if anything.
Yeah.
It's normal speed, though, Rye.
Okay. Just go right off throw the button, hey?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. Thanks, light. Minimum. Light. Heavy clean.
Line's close. Always trap. Go ahead. Yep.
Do you want to be frozen here, Kathy, or just behind the corner, or where's a good spot here?
The call was right on top.
Okay.
Guard.
It's 15:49. That is going to be just a bit light.
Okay.
And advantage
Make it
Jacobs
next
here in 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Good sweep. Just a little more.
Didn't mind the kick.
Not the release I wanted at all.
No.
Yeah, sorry, Maddie.
I didn't mind the kick at all. No.
What Joshua means is that
No ad.
the kick was fine, but when Ryland let it go, he let it go soft, so it's going to take the weight off, it's going to take the rotation off, versus something with the definitive let go with a lot of rotation, which would have carried it.
At the most.
Yeah. So, Cupsy, I got draw button speed.
Full
here.
8.
Same as it's been, buddy.
They threw a couple here.
Yeah.
They even got the wide path because they were kind of curling him in.
They did, yeah.
So,
Okay, so we're just going to go for full 8 foot, eh, guys?
Yeah, I think
Well, he's
full
gotta get-
eight's perfect.
yeah.
Man. Full eight's perfect.
speed's nice.
Full 8, eh, Mark?
Full
What a
8's good,
luxury,
yeah.
Kathy. You know, this front end and all the experience. You heard that little conversation there,
Feel it out, Cubs.
giving
Speed's
Jacobs
good.
all the information he needs from, you know, Brier Gallant and Ben Hebert. They've done it for such a long time. Not together, mind you, but, you know, big stones.
T-line.
You're way out there.
T-line.
You can let it work.
Stay close. Line's perfect.
Probably the widest
Top
one yet.
4.
Yeah.
We're all the way there. We're close to T.
How's line?
Line's perfect.
Can we go to the back 8?
Benny's rock.
T-line.
I think we got to go back,
Top
guys.
button.
Guys,
Right here,
yeah. Well, I
just
don't
top
wanna-
button.
Just don't want to bury this thing.
T-line. Back button.
A little bit. A little bit.
I think we're
That's
real
good there.
Mark.
That's a good spot.
Good spot.
Good, Brad.
Very nice,
guys.
Brad.
Great throw.
Communication
buddy.
is such a huge part
Exactly where I thought it would.
of this
37.
game.
Yeah,
And I was thinking 42 to T.
I got a 35 with a perfect.
So listen to all
I was
the
thinking
information that they
42.
share with Brad Jacobs
Come
in the
down, though.
hack.
That's a good shot, man.
Hey, boy. Great line. They threw a couple here.
Yeah.
They even got the wide path because they were kind of curling him in.
They did, yeah.
So,
Okay, so we're just going to go for full 8 foot, eh, guys?
Yeah, I think
he's
full
gotta get-
8's perfect.
yeah.
Man. Full 8's perfect.
speed's nice.
Full 8, eh, Mark?
Full 8's good, yep.
So we have Brier Gallant talking about the path and the line. You have Benny Hebert confirming where they want to go. 8 foot, Brad says yes, and then he yells down to Mark Kennedy to make sure that Mark knows where they want to go. Every single player on that team contributed to the outcome of that shot by
probably run
reaffirming
like
the
mine
weight,
if
the
we're
path,
gradual.
and the line.
Yeah,
It'll
so
be just get the weight right kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just, we're probably getting morning ice. It might get a little quicker than it's been.
Yeah.
One of Brad's comments to me, Kathy, our goal is to have the utmost confidence in
Little intern
communication, technical play, and in each other. If we do that, we're probably the most confident team we've been. And by that, he meant the team that I've been on. So, I mean, there's a good example right there.
11.
Full then.
Heavy.
Yep.
Like 11.
Whoa. Girl.
Trying to remove this from play. This is not the freeze. Need to make it go away. And trying to get under a little.
Kleiter, tap, roll. Lovely little touch shot. And
Very
shot
nice.
stone.
Good call.
11?
Good spot. Good spot to make. Nice sweep.
I thought I
Really
gave
great
you about
weight.
12 and a
Easier
half.
than Mark.
12 and a half.
Gradual, yeah.
Okay.
So I
Hey,
just
Mark,
can't hit this
so
early.
it'll be like, I'm aiming for like a 12-7, 12-8.
More than Mark.
I still think it's max.
Showing a 13 cups.
I said like 12-7, 12-8.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
So why
I got
this?
to be in just a little gradual
Why this
here.
side, Kathy, and
Based
not the
on mine
side
and Mark?
Ryland just played?
You can play either, but if you remember, Brier Gallant threw in this spot, and we heard Brad Jacobs say it's coming, but it's taking its time. So he saw a throw that he knows best from his own teammate versus judging off a throw that your opponent made. Plus, Ryland rolled in, and this is the side that will curl more for Brad Jacobs.
And I guess, too, if you hit it thin, you got some catching stones as well to help you out.
Sure.
Final stone in 3 after 2 blanks.
Curl. Clean. Clean.
It's heavy.
Clean.
Just clean, bud.
Clean.
Curl.
Curl.
Chance to score 2 here
Right to it.
Curl. Clean.
for Brad
Clean,
Jacobs.
clean. Attaboy, Cupsy.
Beautiful, Cupsy. Very nice.
Lovely weight, great team shot. 2 on the board for Team Alberta out of Calgary. Montana's Brier. Things are starting to heat up here in Kelowna.
Rachel Holman and the Holman Empire win the Canadian Women's Curling Championship.
Watching them right now, it's insane.
Dominant like I've never seen.
That team is doing something very special.
It's just surreal. I mean, Rachel Holman is just unbelievable. Probably one of the best performances I've ever seen.
They just shut down everybody that came their way.
That team is so talented. They're just amazing to watch.
Astonishing, the level of play.
They set the bar really high.
Unbelievable.
She's just making things look easy.
They're pretty flawless with everything they're able to do.
I think Rachel forgot to miss shots. I think she made all of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go against her right now.
They're on a special run, and if they're watching this, enjoy it.
I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think anyone would if they didn't win another world championship this year.
I have all the confidence in them heading to Worlds that, you know, they're going to go and get the job done.
Keep doing what you're doing. Clearly it's working, so don't change anything and just go represent Canada well.
Go Canada, go. We're cheering for you guys.
Home and Empire, go get them.
All Canada will be cheering you on, and we can't wait to watch.
They don't need any luck. They just got to keep doing what they're doing, and I know they'll represent the country great.
If she just keeps doing what she's doing, she's going to be unbelievable.
I'm happy that she's not here this week at the bar because she could cause some damage.
It's been an unbelievable run. And curling on TSN will feature the World Women's Curling Championship, Canada's first game of the tournament versus Lithuania, Saturday, March the 15th. Check the times, 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific. Curling lives on TSN. And Kathy, I think in that final two, those runbacks Rachel herself made against Team Anderson, unbelievable, as we got some Team Canada jerseys in the house, and it has been a very special run, Kathy.
Well, and I don't think you can be a curling fan and disagree with anything that the gentlemen have said. They are at a completely different level than the rest of the teams that we have seen, not only in Canada, but in the world. They are just dominant right now.
And it's been a long time. Sandra Schmirler, the last Canadian to go back-to-back at the Women's Worlds, and Rachel Homan has that opportunity in South Korea.
Yep. Whoa. Wait's good. Yep. Whoa. 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 Girl.
Trying to run it back and pick out the stone.
And on the update sheet D, PEI, Nova Scotia, and it looks like we got a potential draw for two here, Cal.
We do for Tyler Smith, already lying 1. Needs to bite the 4-foot to outcount the yellows in the 8. And for Tyler, it has been a very frustrating week.
I felt good.
Clean. Yeah, a little if you can.
Line's good. Line's good.
Line's good.
Line's good.
Line's good. It's always straight, though.
A lot of brothers, obviously, in the field this week. Kathy, as Chris Gallant is also here, his brother in our feature game.
Good job,
Chris on the brush there, and a good job as he'll find top 4.
Line's good. Tight.
Top 12.
Okay. You're okay. Line's good. Trevor, yep. Yep.
So in the 4th end here, it is Saskatchewan. Riley Kleiter, first opportunity with hammer in this game.
Yep. Whoa.
And he's going to use his corner guard. Not shot stone, but behind some cover.
Well, great pressing by Trevor. He did not quit until that stone touched the house. Extra effort.
Just got to be careful we don't...
Ryland calls him their workhorse. Trevor Johnson with that sweeping.
I can see why.
All right, updates continue, Kathy. Let's check in now on Quebec and Northwest Territories.
Oh, sort of similar to the last update. Quebec already lying 1, chance for 2, but does need to hit the 4-foot if he's going to score that second point.
What's been the difference in your mind for Quebec, Kathy? They started a little shaky, couple losses, but found some momentum recently.
You know, Jean-Michel and I calling the game is really terrific for this team. I think that he brings a balance of aggressive and defensive. And Felix said that he bought in completely, and I do believe that he did. They were making a lot of shots early, but opponents were making more, and now they're starting to swing that tide. It's a very good team.
No.
Has to curl, has to stop. Needs full 4. Oh, nice touch. Look at the finish. C'est bon.
And now you're out of your French.
3-1. Très bien. Very well done.
Okay.
Line's good. Top 4.
Line's good. Always Trev. Line's
Top
good.
button.
I like the weight. Line's really good.
Top
A bit of room. Bit of room.
Room.
Play the weight. Line's good. Line's really good now. 14-5. Okay, it's Matt now.
To your broom. To your broom.
Okay. Little bit. It's good. Whoa, let's go. Okay.
And shot Stone on the button behind some cover.
Well done, because it peaks out a little bit, but you can see if you come down the middle, you're just going to drive it onto your own Alberta Stone.
14-5. That makes
Well thrown, good judge.
The margin, like a hair high.
Yeah, just nose it.
Because you might even do like that. But right on the nose, Mark. Peel.
Wait for me again.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Just a little more. Not going to do much, Brett?
The rock on the line. Nice to be able to hold right there.
Lots of confirmation from the hack. Often deferring to Brett just in terms of line.
Go, yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Curl, please. Curl.
Mark Kennedy. Bang. And he gets everything moving.
Sorry, Mark. I thought I heard but I don't think I heard anything.
Okay, bud. Good try.
Good sweep, guys.
Sorry, Mark.
No, that's not your fault.
I was saying clean. I thought it was.
I thought we were money.
I saw it.
They didn't say anything, did they?
I actually thought you were just going to roll nothing and dead no.
I thought I was telling you, Will.
Doesn't do much.
It looked good. It just.
Yeah, I knew that spot is. I saw.
Big chance for Saskatchewan. And Joshua Mattern to go behind.
Line's good.
Similar. Top 4, top 8.
Okay.
Thought a hair
Line's
left.
good. Close. Yep.
Top 4.
Whoa.
Line only.
You're getting a little tight.
T-line.
Yep. Too tight.
Pretty much the same. Line only.
Whoa. It's too tight.
Whoa, never. Whoa.
Okay, Jay.
And this one might pop out the other side as Mark Kennedy the brush down.
That's all right.
And it should be wide open.
Boy, so much finish.
Tricky little shot, honestly. I needed way more ice, though.
I was thinking 10.5.
Kathy,
right
why would you go to school when you can come to curling school?
Well, I wouldn't.
There you go.
I tell you, this is the place to be.
The Nova Scotia supporters, the signs, and the kids in the house here at Prospera Place.
Sweet. And often I think that what they do in the schools is you pick different territories or provinces and you make a sign for them, but probably one of the things that you have to do is learn a little bit about where you're representing. So do you know about Nova Scotia?
I do. Halifax is there. We're going there for the trials. One of my favorite cities in Canada.
Real close.
Clean. Yep. Clean.
Clean.
Yep. Clean.
Clean.
Easy.
Yep. Whoa. Clean. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Curl.
Brad Jacobs.
Wait center.
Go.
Don't stop.
That's a great shot,
Good
Brad.
shot, Cups. Attaboy.
Not bad.
Good shot, buddy.
Can't freeze that. Guard's in the way, so it's, it's good.
Kathy, Brad said, I like to do things the hard way. I like adversity. I like to challenge myself. Before this championship,
it's more patient today.
he went 72 hours on a
You probably
fast.
felt
Didn't
on that
eat.
how I felt on your run. It's like
Coffee,
clean,
bone broth, whatever.
clean,
Wanted to
perfect. I don't know.
get rid of inflammation,
Hey, 10-3, nice weight.
brain fog, all that stuff. And he's an interesting guy. Like, that's the kind of
Probably
thing he
just a
likes to
12
do,
again.
to challenge himself and test himself. And 72 hours. I don't know if I could go 10 hours, but, good for him.
Just going to play the draw.
Trying something different.
I think even if you leave it in the hole, you're probably good.
Okay. It's not a gimme draw, but I agree. Yeah. I'd rather the big roll, if anything. Yep. 12 here.
Where are we trying to roll it then?
Roll like past the yellow.
Okay.
Only reason being because then it'll be deep. Then it'll be deep, and I can always chase.
Might have a decision to make.
Yeah, I mean, if he was
kind of higher in the house, right? Okay. We see this spot a few times. Nice 12 here.
12, yeah.
Because of the gap between those two guards for Ryland, he could come around and freeze to it, but then you're in the 4-foot, and it's going to be pretty difficult to manufacture a 2 out of it. And so we'll come through the hole and remove the stone. And the decision you heard Mark Kennedy talk about is if they roll underneath, do you chase it or do you sit on it and try to force?
Curl.
Okay.
And here comes the decision.
Good. Not bad spot. It's dead buried, so not bad spot. Good sweep. Good, bud. 12. Yeah, min set I had, if anything. I agree. Yeah.
So that I suggest you're going to remove this, Kathy. Yeah.
It does. It's not a good look from the hack. You're playing a up weight on a stone you cannot see, so you have to trust the broom and know that it will go.
And you can see a sliver, maybe an inch or two.
You're not in the hack.
I'm not. Thank goodness for what
Lucky
a blessing
for
that is. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, Kathy.
Solid square delivery is Brad Jacobs.
Easy.
This comes right at you.
Clean. Weight's good. Clean. Curl. Clean. Curl. Curl. Curl.
Hair light.
Curl. Curl. Go ahead, Brad. Go ahead.
Nose it.
Right to it. Right to it. Right to it. Right to it.
On the nose. Removes the red.
Good line call, Mark.
Great weight.
And the blanket's up now from Ryland Kleiter, Team Saskatchewan.
Oh, very nice. Okay, Mark. Very nice.
Great call. Look who's here. Unit.
9. Yeah. 9.
So close to rolling that little bit more that would make this blank very, very difficult.
Should just see just a hair of curl with a 9 here.
This is a great example of sometimes you see blanks on the board and you assume that they're running it up and down, and they're not. They're just, it is the ability of really good shot after really good shot after really good shot.
And trying to take advantage of a half miss or a miss in a well-played game so far from both sides.
All right.
Ryland Kleiter. Bang. Blank on the board. Third blank already in our feature on this Tuesday morning. The Montana's Brier from Kelowna, BC. Some nice rocks there from Ben Hebert. You see the center line guard, his second top button. A blank on the board for Team Saskatchewan. So once again here in 5, it is Team Ryland Kleiter out of the Montana Curling Club in Saskatoon, down by 2 with hammer as they throw the red rocks.
Don't gotta go wait here.
Well, to a person, all 8 players out here this morning have thrown really nice control weight, have been able to dig out stones, and that's also a testament to how good this ice is. So tough for Saskatchewan to score 2, or we're going to really try to force the issue now.
Well, how good is that, right? Center line behind.
Super.
Behind.
It's perfect.
Nice set
Back
from
line.
Trevor Johnson as well.
Little chip.
Yeah.
Sheet B update time, Kathy. Quebec, Northwest Territories.
And sometimes you feel like you're going to have an opportunity, and that was the case with the team from the north in the first stand. Put some pressure on Quebec that they met, and since that, Aaron has been facing all kinds of trouble. This is a shot against 3. He's electing to play the hit, but does need to stick. There are 2 other red ones in the house other than the shot stone.
Yeah,
No
nice
problem.
nose hit for a single and a 3-2 lead there for Quebec.
Oh, spin. Come on back.
Good
Come
job,
on.
Brett.
Oh,
Nice call, Cops.
right there. Great throw, Brett.
Well, that's getting the most out of that shot. It was curling. They played the audible
Curling right there.
and not only removed the guard out of the way, but they also got
Are you like
behind
this?
and are
No,
first
I
and
know.
second.
I like your first call. Yep. 12? 12?
12, he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can't get much better than that. And I think that as you see numbers, they'll be very high for all of the players because the curling has been at a really good level.
Curl. Clean. Clean. Yep. Curl. Yep. Behind it.
Got to get that yellow one at least back for
Pretty good job,
fourth.
Matt.
And do, no problem.
Boy. Real nice.
Mike McEwen trying to get back to a second consecutive final, taking on Thomas Scoffin this morning from UConn.
Well, Thomas Scoffin made a wonderful shot on his last, made a lot of granite fly and left himself flying 2 and shot stone buried. So this is the force for Mike, needs to draw the 4-foot.
I thought it was good.
And a lot of interesting people probably watching back home in Saskatchewan from the Nutana Curling Club. Both their teams on the ice this morning.
Yep. You gotta go. Clean. Okay, clean. Clean, guys. Easy. Easy, guys.
Wants to settle full 4 and will for Mike McEwen. And a 2-point advantage.
Well, and a really nice hit and roll by Brett Gallant on our feature sheet.
Yeah, my first thought, if you can get there, is
Brad Jacobs said he was so proud of Brett and Jocelyn for winning for Canada. And
absolutely.
Go to the Worlds now to qualify Canada for the Olympics. And he said, hey, man, can you drag us there too? Let's go. Bring us too.
Yeah, it gives you a motivation.
91% so far for Brett Gallant.
Back 12.
Stay close.
Back line.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah.
Back line.
Hard. Yeah.
Hard.
Hard.
Just throw.
Hard.
Just throw.
Hard.
Go dig.
Oh, great brush. Want to scatter those stones.
Yep.
Nicely to save one there for Matt Hall. That guard was coming up quick.
Great brushing.
Pretty good.
Oh, there it is. Got it.
Oh, sorry, we just hit and roll off that one.
Good to be young, Kathy. All these guys in their mid-20s from Saskatchewan.
Young and fit.
Double, but you can come here too.
No, I don't think it goes either. The only way it goes is if you can kind of get under, underneath it a bit, but then it's...
You like that, eh? I don't think it goes, but we could do this. Stay on it, and then it goes on the next one easy. As soon as we unlock that 6.
Yeah. Good call.
Those are the only 2 shots.
Yeah, I don't mind that shot.
Setup shot. It's only marks first.
Yep.
So you're just throwing.
I like that shot. That's the play.
Back button cup.
I think you're trying to bump
Talking
this
about playing this really hard, the problem is it
lock.
catches on the yellow, so it's probably only going to go as far as this. And that was the concern all along. But then you heard Ben Hebert saying, well, if you can unlock the 6, that's the red, yellow where they are. So it's about just tapping it, moving them around, and so that the double will be available on the next shot.
When Brad joined this team, so many big personalities, including Ben Hebert, and you wonder how that would play out with their personalities. And Brad admitted this to me, and he said it to Ben too. I tried so hard to dislike him for years, and Ben made it easy on me. I promised I'd never play with the guy, but you know what? All these years later, it's the perfect time to be teammates. They've grown up a lot. Their families are the same age, and Ben's had a great attitude this year, and it's funny how, you know, all those years later, they've come together and great teammates now.
Back button. Back 4.
That's the curl. Curl.
And Ben helping with that call.
Yeah, good shot,
That's
Mark.
pretty darn good.
Pretty good shot, Mark.
Good throw, Mark.
Heavy. A little heavier than we were calling. Yeah, a little heavy. Slid good. Sorry, pal.
It's in a real good spot, Mark.
Great shot.
12. I like 12, yeah.
Josh Matter.
11-5.
Heavy.
Yep. Solid.
Ryland says, just a great judge of ice. His work ethic, his time in the gym, such a great teammate.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. No.
Well, he is a great teammate, and he's got a lot of attributes. But we took a look at also the players out here at this year's Brier that come to this as a full athlete, that it's not just about curling in their life. Luke Saunders, of course, tennis, played in the U.S. Division I, I think you said yesterday.
Yep.
Chris Gallant, you'd never know it, but this is a ping pong player of note. Tell you a story about that. And Monsieur Trepanier played hockey in New Zealand.
The red double, it's an absolute
And of course, we don't have Catlin on the ice, but he is a football player, and Rylan Kleiter is for sure. And when you are an athlete at a high level, there's a lot of athletes in this field, but these are at a very high level. You bring your athleticism and your knowledge of what it takes in big moments to succeed. Really, really brilliant.
Yeah, Catlin, Rylan, I mean, that Rider Pride football in Saskatchewan. I actually asked Rylan last night, who's a better football player, you or Catlin? And he hesitated. I said, come on, man, you can throw him under the bus right now. And he said, no, he's pretty good. He's pretty good, too. So Rylan holds his cards close to his chest.
Well, my favorite Chris Gallant story was the 2017 Canadian Juniors in Victoria. They had a games room. And my son was playing a lot of ping pong, and of course Jacques was big dogging it with everybody, and Chris Gallant was just leaning against the wall. I know, shocking. And so he heard that maybe he had been in at the Canada Games. So of course, smack talking Jacques says, let's go. Anyways, it was 15-1, and Jacques was bruised in about 5 minutes. Hats off to Chris Gallant.
Yep. Whoa, clean. Whoa, curl, 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 curl.
Mark Kennedy, 1-2. And they talked about that setup shot.
Attaboy.
Beauty.
Set it up and knock it down. Mark Kennedy.
Really nice throw, Mark.
What a shot.
Effortless power. Brett Gallant trying to stay caught up with that stone, and that was the setup shot. That's an assist to Ben Hebert for calling that when they were looking at it. Just play it easy on the first. We'll go on the second.
Yeah, attaboy, Mark.
He's trying to just go.
Two longtime teammates.
Might just have a nose hit to sit 2 over here, maybe?
Yeah, nose hit.
Spread him out and see where his rolls first.
Kathy, I know you're not one to talk about yourself, but I'm going to. Two-sport athletes. You won 3 Scotties championships, and you pitched at Canadian Nationals back in the day.
I did.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Clean, curl, 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 clean, straight, hard.
Good, Jay. Nice spot.
Yeah, nice little tap through. Shot stone, though, still belongs to Team Alberta as we update PEI in Nova Scotia, Kathy.
Well, as before, Tyler Smith has an opportunity to score a 2 already lying shot and doesn't need to be as precise as last time, the 4-foot. This time, as long as he's got a full stone in the house, it will be good for the second point. That game going back and forth, Muddy.
Line's good.
And talking with Owen too, the Brier specialist first time, but he said what's also cool, I'm playing against so many guys I know really well from coming up in junior.
You're good. Okay. You're good. How about Tyler?
And Tyler Smith, yeah, nice weight. So they go back and forth over on sheet D, and it's a 1-point advantage now for PEI.
I seen it coming. I was ready for it. I was like, I don't know, I'm going to move my foot for this one.
Yep. Probably going to get them both.
So what's the play here, Kathy, in our feature? You can see shot stone. That yellow rock is shot rock right now for Jacobs.
I think he's just trying to get to the inside and play the hit on this stone at the back.
Okay.
Just easy weight.
They got firm. Heavy.
Clean.
So skip stones here in 5 in our feature. As we mentioned, Jacobs does lie the 1.
Clean, 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 clean. No, girl. You're good, you're good.
Little roll, and now he lies 2.
Good spot. Attaboy.
And one more update. We'll keep on rolling. McEwen Scoffin, sheet C.
And it looks like Thomas is playing the run back. You can see that it is red belonging to McEwen that is shot. But for Thomas, knowing that in a game like this, if you have a chance to score 2 against McEwen, you have to take it. So he needs to nut the run back in order to remove the McEwen stone and stick around for 2.
Mike McEwen, one of the few teams that has stayed together after that great success last year, making it all the way to the final. Scoffin. Oh, sticks it. Lovely shot. And there is 2 and a 4-4 game against Mike McEwen on sheet C.
Thomas Scoffin can play.
He's not bad, though.
What do you like? You guys see him? I do think we can get shot.
My first thought was that one, but
you're rolling to here, right?
It's just tough to get shot.
Yeah, I know.
You almost have to nose it and like roll it.
Probably got to be out there and then.
Other option is you go right to here too. Just straight.
Yeah,
then he just knows.
He just
has a nose.
Yeah,
he just knows freezes.
He comes freezing, and then we might get the red down into it.
He might be able
I'm not seeing this. I don't know why. Like, what's he doing if we make this roll? Are we shot?
I think he's trying to draw in.
Yeah, he'll draw in.
Then are you going to have that for 2?
Might have a slash too, actually. You're right. Depends he has to make it good at least.
Rolls. I think if we get underneath, he has to be careful with the draw because we could slash double the yellow. Or if he's a little lighter, we could run the red in.
Yeah. Okay, let's make this good then.
Okay, sure, guys. Yeah.
It's probably just yeah, I was gonna say like a 12-12-5.
Yeah.
They talked about playing this run back. The problem, if you play this run back, is your shooter's going to naturally go this way. If it happens to be there, that's not ideal. They want to make a play at this stone, and ideally, if you're able to roll in this mix, they know that Brad will come down on top of it, but you're always going to have the yellow stone on the right side biting the top of the 4 to slash in.
Bumper!
Well, look at those draws, hits numbers. The trend continues for Ryland. So many more hits than draws.
And here comes that centerline guard. They got to drag it by the yellow. And they will. And now some extra curl for a little roll. And shot stone, Team Saskatchewan.
This a little tricky to make that when we have to sweep out of the hand.
12-3.
Yeah. Good sweep.
What's he got? Well, he might have the...
It's a little tricky to make it when we have to sweep out of the hand, I think.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
I mean, he didn't get by the guard by a lot.
No.
12-3, so maybe a touch more weight than we wanted, ideally, but...
Did get low, though.
I think 13 does the trick, though. Okay. I just don't want to overthrow it, Mark. So get to here. Right there.
Sounds good.
Ryland was hoping to roll a little bit more to the right that might force Brad Jacobs to have to draw, and then they could have tried the slash. But because it did not get that inside roll, Brad Jacobs can get enough of it. That is his plan, to tap it back to force.
Great shots in this game, Kathy. Both sides, really good.
Really good shots. And interestingly enough, Muddy, teams have been told that they will be texturing the stones tonight. And you might wonder why they are doing that when there's already enough curl. This is decision day for Greg Owasco. If he doesn't do it today, he doesn't want to be in a position that in 2 days from now, he's thinking the weekend there's not enough curl. So you texture them tonight, and then you just let them settle through the weekend and the Brier final.
And texturing, for viewers that don't understand what that means, Kathy, texturing the stone.
You just rub a little bit of sandpaper, you put the stone on, and you do a little bit of a turn, and it just makes them a little bit sharper on the bottom. You get more curl.
Love to see it. That's why.
Great throw, Cups.
Great sweep.
Because the surface slowly wears down as the rocks are thrown up and down.
So the force here is on after a couple nice rocks from Brad Jacobs.
Same weight is probably pretty good, too. Same weight's pretty good. That was 12-2, so yeah. 12-3, boys.
Got it right.
Yeah.
Final stone here at 5. Ryland Kleiter.
A little more. 12. Easy then. Easy. Clean. Yep. Whoa.
No, heavy.
Clean. Curl. Curl. Clean. Curl. Curl a bit. Curl a bit.
Clean and curl. Lovely. Nose hit for a single. And a 2-1 game in our feature. Alberta Jacobs with hammer when we come back to Prospero Place. Kathy, not a lot of places in Canada where you can go golfing in the morning, skiing in the afternoon, maybe enjoy a Chardonnay as well, and maybe watch some curling. All beautiful. All in 24 hours. Not a bad day's work if you're asking me. Lake Okanagan in the distance, beautiful Kelowna, And a really well-played game so far for Team Alberta as we check the numbers, Kathy, here after 5.
It's just a really well-played game, period. The only 2 on the board, well, that was the third end with that tap made by Brad Jacobs. And Kleiter on his first, unable to roll in. He was behind it, but not enough. And that allowed the force by Brad Jacobs. Some really good numbers through the order for both teams. The edge for Brad Jacobs, and still look at the draws and the hits. That has been the story for Ryland Kleiter.
After 5, brought to you by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. Final 5 to come in our feature. Glad you're watching our coverage right here on TSN.
The 2025 Montana's Brier is presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By Home Hardware, here's how. By Scotties, Canada's #1 facial tissue brand. And by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
Got to get it by that guard. Now bring it over, straighten it out. Oh my goodness, now sit down for the win.
Great team shot.
What a curling shot.
It's incredible.
94% on his hits today. Final stone in 10. He's got to run it back and stick it for the win. Epping, bang it, stick it, got it for a big victory here in Kelowna. What a matchup shaping up today. 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. John Epping 4-1. Reed Carruthers 4-1. Oh, it's a big one in Pool A. Vic Rauter, Russ Howard, Joanne Courtney, Kathy Gauthier with you. Remember, Epping has already beat Dunstone in the head-to-head. If he beats Carruthers, that is massive because that's the first tiebreaker. So that would go a long way in being top 3 when it comes to Pool A. Gushue, McEwen, Jacobs, who are featuring right now, the only undefeated teams, Kathy. It is a little bit spicy in Pool A right now.
Well, and it really comes down to that head-to-head, Muddy, as you said. It's not enough that your record is really good. It's who beat you and who did you beat that decides whether you advance or not.
And then it comes down to that last stone draw to the button, those numbers. That's what we show you before each and every draw. And in this one, it was Team Jacobs won the hammer, and they were really close to the button as well. And it all makes a difference when it comes down to that final tiebreaker. Feature game here in 6. That one on the board from Saskatchewan. So once again, Team Alberta, Brad Jacobs with hammer throwing the yellow stones.
Curl distance.
Nail the speed. Nail the speed. Come on, nail the speed.
Just nibble 4. Easy, easy, easy.
You're good,
easy.
you're good, you're good.
That was 15-4.
Good job, guys.
Great job, bud.
Attaboy. Just a big difference in those two.
Big time.
Those are on the same line.
Just matching stones.
Yeah, I like it.
That's what they're talking about, the times
Either one, really, yeah.
for bends, and it's not unusual that your lead throws a mismatched stone, and so Paul Webster will be, their coach will be noting those kinds of things, because later on in the week you get a choice of a sheet and an adjacent sheet as you start the playoffs, and then eventually all the rocks in the house should you get to the final.
Oh, it's still backing up.
No, Ryan, no, we're
Oh, last motion out, and it will just track, especially with this extra weight.
Okay.
Okay, Maddie.
Okay. All right.
They will hang on, biting back
Heavy
12.
slide again, but a good release that time.
Yeah.
Getting good speed here, pal. T-line, so. I'm just gonna like think top 8, top 4.
Yeah,
really
I like that.
Yeah, rest of the game, right?
You got T-line.
Easy, easy. Max. Max, wait.
Curl.
Back 4. Line's good. Whoa.
You gotta knife this.
Curl.
You don't have to go
Line's
speed.
good. Whoa.
Carves better.
Easy. Curl still.
Line's good.
We didn't need curl. We
You gotta
didn't
knife
need
it.
curl.
Gotta
No
knife
curl.
it. Gotta knife it. Gotta knife it.
Trying to get it to curl so it doesn't open access
bud.
to the back.
I'm so confused as to why we're bumping that.
Well, happy birthday.
Hey, bud.
There you go.
Happy
Paint
birthday.
the sign, get on TV, and happy birthday to our guy, Stino.
Stino.
So much hard work behind the scenes from our crew, and not just this event. Well, yeah, work harder, pal. Come on, what are you doing there? Don't forget to focus, white balance. Thank you.
Well, so many of those beautiful shots that you see of Kelowna were brought to you by Stino.
And to him, our entire crew, there are a lot of hours behind the scenes, away from family, and we appreciate everyone's hard work so we can bring you the coverage here from Kelowna.
Like back line? Yeah. 7/8 can make a nice pocket.
Same weight.
So this is not about elimination of stones. It is too late for that for Ryland Kleiter and the team. So asking Matt to try to get to the face of that stone, move them around, maybe create a bit of a wall, and the hope that you can get in there and lodge it in such a place that either Team Jacobs can't get it out, or that you at least reduce how many points might be on the table.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
Trevor Johnson just leaning on that broom here for Matt Hall.
That's good.
So yeah, they'll move them around, and the Rocks, two of them now behind the tee line.
That's fine. Okay, Matt.
Playing this.
Yep. Okay, Brett.
Get her on the line, Brett.
Yeah.
Now for Brett Gallant, it's the double peel, and you might just drive the second stone straight back.
Is that just trying to be too perfect, Kathy? I mean, you want to make the double. I mean, it's a bonus to get that one in the house.
Back 8.
Yeah, he actually touched it. There wasn't very much separation between the two, so you can see his frustration.
Back 4, back 8.
Okay, freeze tap. Okay, do you want to try and give you guys like tee back forward of the hand?
Okay. Yeah, I think you're thinking like back 4 early, like before the break. And
okay.
Update time as we check in on Smith and Nova Scotia, but it is Owen Purcell that has the hammer.
Well, and a huge opportunity here. It is PEI that lie too, but for Owen, if he can get to the nose, both of them can go, and he's got a biter at the top and a stone at the back of the house. Chance for 3 if he can get by the guard.
Curl!
By the guard, a little more curl. Bangs the reds. The shooter flies out, but there's a pair.
Shot, Owen.
Nice.
Thanks. Great throw.
And successfully using that hammer, which is obviously big in these games as you go down the stretch.
Keep your intern.
3/4 mark, something like that.
3/4 low is real close, eh?
Yeah.
3/4 low.
Wait for me, guys. Yep.
Yep. Hard! Hard, Brett! Hard!
And take 2, Brett Gallant just missing that red, but he'll open things up for a skip.
Not bad, Mark. Not bad.
Pardon me, Mark Kennedy.
And here's 2 choices. You can either play the tap now, however,
This one. Just bite the center line. Yeah. 2 guard.
if you play the tap now, you're grouping the stones, and the upweight ability by Mark Kennedy will just scatter a bunch of stones. So trying to guard the red stone that is shot.
Or even just stay off it.
Okay.
Little bit early.
A little light.
Little bit early. Yep.
2. Oh, it's good. 2.
Okay. Got to keep it out there.
It's good. 2.5. To your broom.
Line's going to get a little tight.
On its own.
Line's going to get a little tight.
Almost 3. Almost to your feet.
Whoa, right
to your
off,
feet.
right off. So I was yelling early, but it was max weight, I guess. Sit.
And it'll stop there for Josh, touching the center line.
Good spot.
And 1-2 there for Scoffin, but 1 to come from Mike McEwen.
Well, Thomas Scoffin, again, the highlight reel this morning, just made a run double to remove all of the McEwen stones in the house and leave himself lying 2, and so forcing Mike, making Mike's morning just a little bit tougher than he had hoped for.
Back to our feature, Mark Kennedy.
Lead, curl, 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 curl.
Oh, this is bad.
Curl, curl, curl.
Ooh.
Now, before it even hit, they said this is going to be bad. Knew that it was just hanging out that little bit. As we watch Mike try to find the 8-foot.
Oh, this end is turned in our feature, so now 2 for Saskatchewan without hammer and 6. Mike McEwen.
Clean now.
Flash and Marsh walk this one in. Nice draw weight.
One red.
Man, Mike McEwen has shown up from last year, and he's looking like the exact same player. Very confident here at the Brier.
Okay, we got 4 feet quicker than the others first half right now.
Okay.
Well, this end has really flipped around with a couple of uncharacteristic misses. First, Brett Gallant on the double peel, and then Mark Kennedy on that one. A chance for Ryland to throw a guard, and Brad Jacobs have to dig.
Well, I don't know. It'd be nice to get both of these reds.
Line's good.
Weight's good. 2.
Line's great.
2.5. 3. Yep, right there. To your broom. Just a tight 3.
Line's great.
Tight 3, Matt. 3.
Close.
Little higher.
Curl. Hard. Hard, Josh. Hard. 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 Go, 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 go.
Oh, did you leave the hole? You did.
Yeah, you can hear Ben perked up real quick. You could hear Ben Hebert.
Too thick if you get by the yellow.
Well, I think it goes, buddy.
It's okay to if we take the yellow, we take the yellow. But, like, I meant that one. Oh.
So through the hole or drive their yellow in, Kathy? I think
through the hole if you happen to tick the yellow and open up that side. Because you don't want to tick the red one. That red guard is not your problem.
A couple ends ago. I think it's pretty straight.
So I thought I also heard someone talk about running a yellow in to the reds, but no, through the hole.
No, through the hole.
Yeah.
Now, Kleiter's team tried really hard to get that red to move just that little bit more. But there is a hole.
It'll be Brad Jacobs in turn through the hole. And still a chance here to get 2 or more in 6. Yeah, there you go, Alberta and Brad Gushue, Team Canada. Only teams yet to allow a steal this week. Right out of his hand, find the hole, through the hole, bang the red to stuff it, but oh, that sideways action. Moves it enough to lie the 2 for Team Alberta.
So great. Brett Gallant switched his body position so that it was almost as though he were sweeping on the other side to try to get that stone to stay straight. Amazing. Well done.
Well done, buddy.
You had a very small opportunity.
Wanted to throw it closer to the red than the yellow.
Oh, I know.
Ticking that yellow ain't good.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have much room on either side.
Okay.
You ready here? Wait, huh? Yeah.
You know, he's the guy that flies out west when they want to work together and work on things. As Brad Jacobs still obviously home in Northern Ontario, but he says he loves going to the curling club, spends hours there, hangs out with the members, helps the ice maker, helps out members with their deliveries, and a rink rat is Brad Jacobs.
Oh, Josh, you gotta dig, man. You gotta dig.
Straight.
Trying to get to the face roll under and make Brad Jacobs do it again.
Okay.
Man, this end, back and forth. I mean, it looked like Alberta was going to score big. Then it looked like Saskatchewan might steal.
Okay, it's a little full.
And now, a chance for 2 again for Brad Jacobs.
It's 11-9 and kind of just...
Forward. Nice and greased her after that mop, Cupsy.
You like that?
That weight, that kick.
A comment about the grease after the mop, just reminding Brad that even though they're going a little bit further out, they do the mop after the 5th end break, and so there won't be any difference. Just wanting him not to overthrow in this path. And you can see the record so far. He has not missed one.
That's clean. 11. Hair heavy. Curl, clean. Curl, 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 curl,
curl, buddy.
Clean. Curl, clean, clean, clean. Nice.
The curl clean.
Nice, Cupsy.
Usually means it's good. On the nose for 2. So doing a great job with hammer efficiency here, Team Alberta. A 4-1 advantage over Saskatchewan. We've taken advantage of the lakefront, the marina, a beautiful place to walk outside here in Kelowna, right by Lake Okanagan. Yeah, the wine, it's over there. We're going to walk over there.
I'm running.
Well, key shot, and it was a beauty for Brad Jacobs in 6.
Well, and it's a great example about how deep this team is. Brett Gallant didn't quite make his shot. Mark Kennedy didn't, but there is a hole. And for Brad Jacobs, goes through and makes the double, flips this end completely around. He is over 95% for the week and 98% today.
Well, Kathy, it did clip that yellow one up top. It just grazed it. The key shot brought to you by BKT Tires, growing together. I didn't see that in real time or live time, but a little, as you would say, it scooched off the yellow just a tiny bit, but he made the shot. And that's a real case if you know, a learning point, or you look back for Ryan Kleiter, if that indeed is the TSN turning point of this game. You know, that end was shaping up really nicely for Saskatchewan to really put some heat on Alberta, but you know, Jacobs shot his way out of it, literally.
They just couldn't close the port. If that stone, that guard by Kleiter's team curls just that little bit more, that hole is not there. And now Brad Jacobs is in trouble. And it wasn't for a lack of sweeping effort, that's for sure, on the Kleiter team part.
Then you throw one tight around.
So 2 hammers for Alberta, Jacobs, and 2 twos on the board.
You guys like this, or do you like the tight?
I like it, Matt. I like this. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Matt Hall throws the second stone on this team. He holds the broom in the house for Rylan Kleiter.
Whoa. Clean. Yep. Yeah. Whoa. 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 Oh, a little bit of curl. A little bit of curl.
Atta boy. Yeah, really nice.
Shot.
He was staying right on the face of that stone. Try to make it tougher for Brett Gallant to remove both, but you can see he's going to try to hit about a third, and everything should fly.
Yep.
Hard. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it.
Hard. Hard, reach to it. Hard, hard, hard.
And everything disappears.
Yeah, he's got to throw a tight guard.
Yeah, and then what do? If we can see it, we dig it. If not, we peel.
You're always going to be able to dig with that guard.
It's amazing. They've just made a shot. They're already charting out exactly what it is that the Kleiter team will do and what their options will be. Completely engaged in every minute of this game.
2.
All you guys, spin around. Line will be good. Line's really good.
To your broom.
Okay.
Hair higher.
Trevor, get ready, but it looks okay.
Want to go a bit?
Go ahead, Trev.
Curl.
Go ahead, Trev.
Curl distance. Curl distance.
Hard. 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 A little more. Hard.
Good spot, Matt. Atta boy.
Good spot.
So yeah, Matt Hall, a couple corners now to work with, and Jacobs will chase after the closer one.
Good.
Updates continue, Kathy. Let's check in on Northwest Territories and Quebec.
It is a draw for two. That yellow stone that you see, second shot, was Aaron Bartling's final stone. He didn't want to be exactly frozen on there because he is second shot, but by sliding that little bit deep, it allows Felix a chance to draw for two.
Bartling was an alternate back in Calgary 2021 for Eddie McKenzie out of PEI. He's the import, lives in Drayton Valley, Alberta, just outside of Edmonton, a firefighter there.
Straight! Come on! Straight! Hard! Come on! Go!
Little curl inside, and it looks to be two.
Oh, I think it is.
Two?
And after looking it over, it was two.
I think so.
So two on the board.
Good scrub. Free throw. That was almost a disaster.
And 5-3 Quebec leads there.
Great sweep. Okay.
Kathy, you talked about that Greg Wasco and his team, the chief ice technician here, they're going to sharpen the stones. Does that make them less lively in the house, more lively in the house, like action and moving stones around at all?
You know what, it really is about finishing the curl, and as I've said this morning, we have a lot of curl, but they want to make sure that the stones last through the closing weekend. So what it's going to impact is Jean-Michel Menard, for example, has got a soft release. He's already had stones that straighten out. So if you have a soft release, you're going to be in trouble once they texture the stones. It will be important to be really crisp. You're going to see the stones dig a little bit more.
And if it curls up, then
Update as we continue to update you at home, PEI in Nova Scotia.
Well, a hit and roll on Owen's final stone is why Nova Scotia is shot. And with this kind of ice, it looks as the decision for Tyler Smith is to play a quiet wait. This is not the blank, it is to stick, but rather than draw, he's going to play a soft weight hit against the stone.
Meantime, in our feature, Mark Kennedy. Little tap, he'll remove the red, and Alberta does lie to two. And back to the update sheet.
Hard.
Trying to carve that over and right by. So Owen Purcell now a 2-point advantage after 7.
We are not paying attention.
I'm with you. Okay. Yeah, just hair less for you guys here. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter how many Alberta stones are in the house right now to Rylan and his team. They're trying to find a way, how can we generate two? And so ignoring the stones in play and trying to use the guard, get behind it.
Yep. Go ahead, Trev. Hard, Trev. Hard, Trev. Hard. A little more hard. Whoa.
So you double stack the guards.
Good, buddy.
It is such a long guard that if you go around, it can be dug out easily by the Jacobs team. So they are prepared to risk a big here in this 7th end, throwing the 2 guards.
What do we like? Somewhere where you can even up a draw. I like right.
Thomas Goff and Kathy settles into the hack on sheet C.
Well, the good news for Thomas is that he has a chance to tie this game again. The bad news is he's drawing against 2. But for Thomas, needs full 8 to score.
Okay.
Hair tight. Yep.
Born in Sudbury, Ontario, lives in Whitehorse, Thomas Goffin.
Line's good. Yep.
Line's good.
Yep.
Line's good.
Lost to Canadian Junior Final to Matt Dunstone back in 2013 in Fort McMurray.
Hard. Straight. Hard.
Can't over curl.
Oh, got to hold the line, and it will, just so.
Nothing like the perfect freeze on a draw against 2.
No pictures on the scorecard, Kathy. It's a 1. It's a 5-5 tie. Good for him. He's pushing Mike McEwen to the limit.
Curl.
Yep.
Looking for the split here, Alberta.
Not bad.
Hey, Cupsy.
That was big, eh?
Back 8. Yeah, you're back 8.
Back 8 on its own.
Still pretty
And where
good.
can you hide? Well, you threw those corners for a reason, Kathy.
You bet, use
Even
them.
with that yellow, but I guess not. Hey? Doesn't really matter.
I mean, even if you're not shot,
Even if he loops, we should have that.
even
double,
if yeah,
so.
if you're second shot, there's not many places you can put it where we don't have something.
I'm with you. Here or
Sure.
if you're back there, just so
Yeah,
just
like
so we
back
have
here
that.
is fine if we coax him into drawing.
The reason placement is important, it's not about being shot, is that if Rylan is in this area right here, he'll be shot, but then this is going to be a pretty simple
Best spot is even.
double
Like
for
top
Brad Jacobs. So you want to be a little bit higher, and even you may not be shot, or you want to be lower in the house.
Second best is T-line.
Okay, so like 15.
It's all about not setting up the double and getting a stone behind there.
Josh's was 16.
Yeah. Just give you guys a little more than what I gave you for that guard. 6 to 8 feet more. You guys didn't really sweep that much.
Yep. Yeah, I'm good with that,
close.
right? 6 feet.
6 feet. Mine's good.
Not there. Okay, not much add. Top 4. I got there. Line only.
Yeah, top 8, top 4 for weight.
Weight's all there, Matt.
Room.
Let it work. We're probably a foot heavy.
Line's good. Line's good.
Just get the
Line's
line here.
great.
Top
Get
8.
it right here. Straight. Line's good. Hard.
It's going to be shot stone. This is really curling, and it'll be second shot rock.
But that's okay.
Forces Jacobs to deal with it.
Never needed it to curl. I never called Trevor on.
No, he switched it.
Right here, boys?
Think so.
Either that or right beside him.
Yeah, but, you know, yeah, anywhere on that line.
Well,
No, not anywhere on that line.
Here, there's probably a triple. The
Yeah, we
best
see
spot
that.
would be right beside him, right? Okay, let's do that. Right here.
So this is a very precise shot.
Right beside the red, yeah.
If you're back here, there's going to be a double for Rylan. No question about it. This is,
So,
for sure, the best spot to be right beside there. But if you're a little bit higher, you're not second shot. And if you're a little bit lower and it goes around, there's a double. And so Brad Jacobs is not wrong. Right beside it is perfect, but you have to be perfect.
No chance the out turn for him. Pick that red out with some speed, or it's just not going to curl up for him.
You know what? I think it's just a higher risk for Brad if he can get a second stone in there. He's going to force Rylan to make a big double. And look at those numbers.
I was just going to say, Kathy.
Nice boost on that.
Top 4.
A little bit of room.
A little bit of room. You can let it work.
We're close to T-line, guys.
Yeah, we're going to back 4.
Right here, then.
We're going there.
Okay, so the audible.
We're not. We're good.
Or not.
Even here.
We're good.
Even here. Just to my broom. Right to my broom.
Curl, if anything. Curl.
Yep.
You know, credit to Ben Hebert. He said we're probably back 4.
Shot.
Good one. Good.
And it settles. So Alberta does lie the 2.
I got it.
Is there a triple there for 2?
There is.
That one.
I like to
I think I
pick 2
boosted it a little too much.
Yes.
Must have, but
It was the
that's a
same
much
weight as the first one.
Yeah.
different split.
Much slower kick.
You're mostly
Yeah, I thought you
lining
were
up
gonna
the
be good
double,
on
and you've
here.
got the
Good.
catcher on the
What weight do we
right-hand
see
side.
here?
This
Right there.
It may go
One more
across
up, or
the
do you want
top.
this Rip with peel.
Whatever weight you want. I think, like,
What's the easiest?
I think if you're hitting it close to making it with peel, it's pretty tough to
Sit.
spin up and out.
I agree. Easy peel, then?
Yeah.
I'm seeing easy peel.
Sure.
Here. Should
Because
run
of the
pretty
score,
true.
Kathy, you have to try this
You do.
all day long. You got to score the
You
2.
do.
One's just not enough here.
One is not enough.
Okay.
Quarter off.
Well, your shot selection is based on what the scoreboard says, and in 7 down 3 playing this strong Alberta team, you have the opportunity for 2, and Brad Jacobs did say if we go deep, we may set up the triple, and the triple is there.
If you want to knock off one of the favorites, you have to make shots like this. 10 hits today. Number 11 on the way. Rylan Kleiter needs a big one. Little bit of curl. Slash it, get it. Oh, what a shot! Rylan Kleiter with the beauty.
That is a money shot.
Let's go, baby. Be right.
Wow.
Good call, buddy.
One more look, Kathy, and it was perfect.
Good patience, boys.
Well, great call by Matt Hall as well. You have to hit that perfect to use the stone on the left as a catcher. Way more hits than draws. Maybe this is why.
That will get you confidence. He talked about his welcome to the Brier moment. Make a shot. Yeah, fans in the building. Ball fired up.
Okay, buddy.
A game saver.
Keep doing our thing. Stay patient. Force is not too bad here, right, boys? We can still keep it.
There you go. So Jacobs. What a shot. 4-3, Alberta leads with hammer when we come back to Kelowna. Kathy, it's why we love the sport. You know what? Great shot. Game saver. Keeps him in it. 4-3. Alberta leads. Jacob with hammer. But my goodness, Rylan Kleiter, what a shot.
Well, two really great highlight reel shots. One by Brier Jacobs going through a port earlier on in this game. And then Rylan Kleiter counters with a triple to score 2. And you're right. He's not out of trouble yet, but he keeps himself very much in this game. And we heard him talking to his team. If we can force here, chance to score 2 and 9.
Get it over.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Boy. Real nice.
So expect that the strategy that you will see by Rylan and his team is all about not eliminating stones, but trying to find a way to force.
Wow.
Wow. And this is a huge performance by Trevor. He was 17th amongst all leads coming in, and talk about a big game play when it matters.
Negevin and Mitchell, both perfect games this week at the Brier as well for their respective teams.
Shooter. Good try, Brett. Good throw.
Okay, good shot.
10-8 there is just kind of clean.
In a 6-4 lead for Nova Scotia. Update on sheet D.
Well,
that was
Owen was facing 2. He tried to hit and roll right in front of that red stone at the back, and he got the stone out, but he didn't roll far enough. So for Trevor, or rather Tyler Smith, he's got a chance for 2 with a nose hit.
Playing the out turn.
Clean. Whoa. Clean.
Tyler trying to pick up his first win here in Kelowna. And Owen Purcell does not want to fall to a third loss. Really nice weight. Good control. 2 on the board. And a close game there. Over on sheet D as they're all locked up. Beginning play in 9.
Yep. Good sweep.
Real nice.
Yep.
Probably try it again. Or you try it. It's really hard to roll in here.
Just peel that one, guys.
Sure.
You could straight peel this one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do we try to roll it on?
Really good numbers
We try to roll
for
it
both
on?
seconds.
Try it with board to roll it on.
That could have been my broom as well. I didn't see where it was. Yeah.
11 and a half. Yeah. High 11s.
Gradual here.
And the long guard's not a problem for Alberta because of the movement of the ice, but the short one is, and that's why it's going away.
All right, back to Quebec and Northwest Territories, and Aaron Bartling skipping here for the very first time, the 48-year-old.
And wow, for Felix, he looks on as the opportunity for Bartling is for 3. Already lying 2, needs full 8.
No ad, though. No ad.
No, I don't. No.
Nothing yet
No.
on the update sheet.
Hey, man.
And yeah, why waste your sweepers when you can just put it right in the
Just
butt?
throw it on your own.
There you go. Wow. So Aaron Bartling
takes the lead.
Looking for win number 1, has a 1-point cushion. The firefighter out of Edmonton.
Yeah.
And on our sheet, you saw, that peel of the tighter guard. That's the stone that's in Brier Jacobs' way. The long guard, he'd prefer it to be gone, but knows that he can play any variety of weight and get around it.
Just fighting. Okay. It's always, Trev, Don't have to.
Real tight.
Gotta sit now.
Trying to replace that guard that was just removed.
Yeah, it's just biting.
Don't have to.
Sit.
Okay. Okay, Jay. Not bad spot.
All right. That's okay. After mine overcurled slightly, I think we're just playing to the side of the button now.
Bump and go low on that red. Okay.
And good for Josh. I mean, his number's right there with one of the best thirds we've ever seen in the game in Mark Kennedy.
And the big story so far is there's very little to choose between the positions, which is why we're in a game that is so close.
Saskatchewan overall, Kathy, 93%. Jacobs' team, 1 percentage less. Game of inches, right? 4-3 Jacobs leads.
Shot.
And you think about the two great shots. Jacobs threw that little port to set up a nice end. And then responding was Kleiter last end, that triple. As Jacobs, and he knew, right? He just slid a little too far with his final stone in that last end to set up that triple.
Okay, 10 less feet, honestly, is pretty good.
Well, and he's courageous, is Brad Jacobs. He knew exactly where the stone could be that would have forced Ryland. He just was a little bit deep.
Line's good.
2.5.
Okay, you gotta be easy then.
So it is a game of patience, trying to throw another guard. You can expect that they'll wait for Ryland's shot to tap their own red stone to a shot position.
Okay, easy, 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 easy. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's good, guys.
Good spot. Good spot, Jay. Real nice, buddy.
Okay. We just got a straight peel, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I like this.
He's gonna have, then he has that slash red and pick it out through the hole.
Yeah. I honestly am not seeing the freeze ever not getting past nose.
Okay.
Clean. Clean.
Hard red. Hard red.
Yep.
Hard red. Hard red.
How you like that, eh?
So Kennedy the peel. And right now, it is still Alberta. They do lie the two. So yeah, at some point, Saskatchewan's going to have to make a move.
We might use it.
Like,
nose. Yeah, he's going to be able to play this, but I think
well, as long as we keep the roll small.
Player comparisons are brought to you by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
Yeah.
And you talked about 1% less for Alberta. This is why they're ahead on the board. Is a significant plus for Brad Jacobs, but great numbers for Ryland Kleiter.
Absolutely. I agree. Right on the beak, I think is close.
Yeah, agreed. Beak or shade high.
Yeah, a shade high you can get away with, I think. I think a shade high puts it right here.
Yeah.
Right on the nose, probably still puts it in a good spot.
I like it. 11, fellas.
Just get the red to frozen, basically.
Yeah.
High side then?
Nose.
Okay.
So you could, as an option, just tap that red stone sideways instead of playing a hit. But then you may set up the double with where your shooter is. And so for Ryland, we'll hit it on the nose, get rid of one of the yellows. He wants to force, but he also wants to keep it relatively close and not leave a whole bunch of Alberta stones in play.
Easy. Clean.
Watch for the hit stone to roll off one of the yellows towards the buried stone.
Yes! Hard! Hard!
And now it starts to curl, trying to hold that line and angle.
Oh, they lost it.
Okay.
And now it's a
that grab?
Pretty easy double here.
okay.
All right. Okay.
Snapped a little bit. Did that grab, Matt?
A little bit, I thought.
Yeah, I thought
like,
a little bit too.
I expected that just to kind of like track, stay there most of the way.
I was way too close.
11.5, like maybe a touchdown, but which probably helped it, but still. Sorry, Ryan.
It's all right. Should have either a freeze or a double to sit to, right?
Yeah.
And it just over curled, and it could very much be something as simple as the slide path wears just a little bit, and it didn't jump a whole lot, but just enough that it got to the inside. Looking for the double.
Curl! Curl!
And Sticks, the shooter, makes the double, lies too, but yeah, he can answer right back with a double.
Well, now you have to.
Good shot.
Yeah, thanks.
And if he sticks that, the double might be there for the blank with all those rocks in play this end.
Is that what it looked like to you?
That's a great example about how quickly you can put a blank on the board with lots of rocks in play.
Good. I'm assuming we're taking one if he makes a double here. Trying to hit and take one.
Unless there's a relatively easy blank.
There you go. Love this game, Kathy. Chess on ice.
Chess on ice is exactly it.
But has to make the shot first.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Rylan Kleiter with his last year in 8. He made a beauty in 7.
Whoa. Girl. Whoa.
Kleiter. Oh, did he stick it? It's got to roll and keep rolling. Got to get it right out, or the double would have been there. And the broom goes down. It'll be the hit for the single. And so for Kleiter, mission accomplished. Got the force.
Yeah. Patient there, eh? Holy man.
Now, well done by Rylan and rolling that stone over there. If there was any sort of really good opportunity for a blank, you know that Brad Jacobs would take it, but this is common sense. You just take your single. You're up 2 coming home. The analytics would say you are in control, and that's where they want to be.
You know, I asked Rylan last night. He's like, you know what? We got a game plan that works for us. We're going to stick to it. Doesn't matter if we're playing a Brad Gushue or a Brad Jacobs. We don't got to worry about the other team. We got to do what works for us. They gained a bit of confidence by playing this exact same team to a close one earlier in the season in Swift Current. Single on the board.
Good shot. Good score.
And yeah, the scoreboard says 5-3. Kleiter hammer. When we come back. It's been a great game, Kathy. Saskatchewan, Alberta. 5-3 right now. It is Jacobs forced to the 1. So down by 2 here in 9. It is Kleiter and Team Saskatchewan with hammer throwing the red rocks. And lead stones on the way. This one comes from Trevor Johnson.
Just really good curling on both sides at all positions.
Can you knife a bit?
You can, yep.
Just a bit.
Just past the AGI.
Easy then. Easy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just get ready, Josh. Yep. Whoa.
And still a perfect game for Trevor. Well, only one score of 3, Kathy, across all the sheets of ice this morning. It's come from Aaron Bartling. And another update over on sheet B.
Well, the yellow stone that you see that is shot was Aaron's final stone coming down and being shot, and so no way for Felix Asselin to get multiple points. This is the force. He needs the lid for the single.
And Asselin has really found his confidence, I feel, after the start. They struggled in a couple of their opening games. And nothing from the front end. There's Martin Crête, a couple scrubs, and
very nice.
Oh, just enough. So a single. Good game over there. And a 6-6 tie. We talked about Aaron Bartling, the import from Edmonton. His first Brier, however, Kathy, he's played in the Canadian Firefighters Curling Championship multiple times, multiple golds, and he played with some guy named John Morris.
Well, I was just going to say that firefighter event is not an easy championship.
Atta boy. Oh, sorry. Real nice, Matty.
Nice.
Shot.
Matt Hall moves him around.
Well, he gets him off the forefoot. Gives Rylan a chance to score if he needs to later. And there still is room by those corner guards to get around. In the 9th and down by 2, there's not a lot of value in just taking 1. Rylan would be playing really hard for 2.
What's heavy, guys? Whoa, it's not top 4.
A little heavy?
It is, no?
We're just T-line. Line's okay.
It's going to be a knife on me, Mark.
No, I think you just let it be.
We'll let it stop.
Good.
Shot, Brett. Attaboy, buddy. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Good
Pretty
shot,
good
bud.
spot there, I think.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I think that's better than just biting the 8-foot.
Yeah, yeah.
Good shot.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
No.
I think freeze, but...
Freeze?
Could tap his back, too.
And the updates continue, Kathy. Let's check in again on Scoff and McEwen on Sheet C.
This is another game that's gone back and forth where you have a team that doesn't have as good a record as the team that they're playing, but are really pushing them. But Mike has the opportunity here to take a 2-point advantage, already lying 1. This is a draw for 2.
I got that's poundable.
In a 5-5 tie, and this one interesting too. The coaches on the bench. You got a couple of Brier champs. This is Darren Moulding coaching Yukon. Pat Simmons coaching Saskatchewan.
And I've watched a lot today. They have spent more time talking to each other, the coaches, than probably watching Rocks.
Well, you know what? Everyone in this building absolutely loves curling. You'll love that shot. Beautiful draw for McEwen. Yeah, little fist pump. And so it is Saskatchewan leading that one by 2.
Line's good.
Matt Hall.
Line's good. Always Trev. Line's good.
Do it. Small bump.
Whoa, then. Line will be good.
Back 4. It's trying.
Line's good.
T-line.
Okay, line's really good.
No bump still.
Okay, whoa, Josh.
Still bump.
Josh. Little bit, buddy. Little bit. Okay, good, Matty.
Nice.
Good shot, buddy.
Very nice.
Sweet.
Smith, Purcell over on Sheet D, and it looks like Owen is shot stone. So that broom tells me maybe a double try here, Kathy?
He is for sure, and it was a change of tactics by Tyler Smith on his first facing 2. He played the freeze attempt, but it is top 4, and his second one slid a little bit deep. So for Owen, does need to get to the nose. If he can make the double, 3 will be on the board for Nova Scotia.
In a 6-6 game, big shot here, Owen Purcell.
Clean. Just clean it. Clean.
Tap, red spill. What a
4.
shot. How about 4?
How about 4?
Using that hammer to perfection and handshakes.
Tim Tyler, good luck. Good luck, Ryan. James, good luck.
And very important to remain at 2 losses. Owen Purcell and his team out of Halifax. Well done. 10-6 is the final score.
Big Ray.
Thanks.
Nice. Great plan. Great management.
Luke's so positive out there.
Okay. We're just trying to stuff it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, broom down.
Even if you catch it a little thin, you can make this
here we
too,
go.
So.
Yep.
12.
Okay, just nice 12, boys.
$11.5.
11-5. Yep. 11-5. Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa.
Josh Matter.
Yes. Hard. Come on. Whoa. Hard.
Trying to catch that yellow one and stay right there. This has to go deeper.
That's good. Really good, Josh. Very nice.
So shot stone, obviously still Jacobs, yeah.
Move this yellow back a bit.
And to your point, yellow third and fourth, Kathy.
Yeah. This
And
is
that's
always
key
going
there.
here, which is not good.
Or you guard.
Do you guys like the guard?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Right? I mean, he's going to
Four.
have to move it, right?
Yeah.
Guarding this.
Yeah.
Well, for the students in the crowd, if you were watching that was entertaining this morning. When Brad said you liked the guard, all 3 of them put their hands up in the air, as you do in a good class. And so this is a team decision that they're going to guard.
Weight's great.
Got a little bit of room there.
Weight's good.
Going to have Rylan have to worry about spending his last 3 stones getting out of trouble.
Lots of weight.
5.
Worried about it over curling, maybe.
Yeah,
Very comfortable if they force.
Line's good.
Need this to stop.
Still over
5.
curling.
Guard.
Yeah, I needed to stop.
Gotta stop. Sit, Rock.
Good spot, Mark.
Good.
Boy, buddy.
Oh, boy.
Good shot, Mark.
I think.
Oh, good
Keep
shot.
guys.
Yeah.
Throw, Mark. Sorry, pal.
It's okay. Good throw.
Hack is nice.
Okay.
Could even be, hack.
I was 12 last time.
Well, yeah. I think you were 11-5.
Okay.
11-8, I would say.
Okay, nice hack, boys.
Solid, really solid.
Curl.
I don't know if he flipped this one out just a little bit here, Kathy.
I think he might because they had Matt. Oh, it's getting closer.
Whoa.
Trying to use the catcher, and they did.
But it catches the yellow.
Good call.
So it is still Alberta lying 1
Thicker would have been good, but that's good.
and 3.
That's good. That's a good shot.
Lock this on.
Right on the nose?
Right on the nose. What if we tap it a hair? Is that
that's
okay?
an option too.
Right here.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
It's quick. It's like 15.
Yeah, okay.
Feels quick.
Give me, no, that's good.
Tell our guys that. Hey, Mark, trying to dead bury this rock?
Well, we were
thinking
freezing
nose.
it.
Oh, so he does that. Then he hits it hard.
I know why. I get it.
I think both are
Little
okay,
bump's
guys.
okay.
I think both are okay, too. I think if we're locked on the nose is real good.
Okay.
Top 8.
Even if, yeah.
It's
like
4 to 6 feet faster than kind of the start of the game or all week.
Okay. She's quick, eh?
Yeah.
So that is really important that Mark Kennedy and Brett Gallant are on the same page, because the last thing Mark will say to Brad is what he thinks the weight was. Brad was going away and Mark said, listen to me, it is quicker. And then he got down here and Brett Gallant said it's 4 to 6ch feet quicker. And so Brad Jacobs was heavy last time. They want to make sure he doesn't bounce off.
Weight's good. Clean. Top 4.
And when you got sweepers like this, use them, right, Kathy?
You bet.
Line,
T-line.
Line's good.
No, we're top 4.
Yep.
Top
Clean.
5. Little bounce.
Clean.
Little bounce.
Yep. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Hard line. Hard line.
Yep.
Hard line.
Hard.
Hard line. Come on, Brett. Come on, Brett. Come on, Brett.
Good shot,
Good
Cup.
shot, Cup.
Good shot.
Play, buddy.
Good sweep.
Good shot, man.
Good sweep, bud. Very
That's
good.
what I was thinking, like dead nose, right?
I think it's good. Can't protect against everything.
You
It's a
can.
good shot.
Yeah.
I might not be able to use it on my last, I'm thinking. Do you see anything else? What's up?
I like it. It's that, or what Matt said is pretty good
I like
too.
a time if we're going to spend a lot of time.
Yeah, me too.
Well, if we think this can get out of the 4 or out of the 8 foot.
Dean Kleiter is the coach of this team.
Really tough.
It's over staggered a hair.
PO plus if you're a little snug and you get the
Red, and you'll be sitting.
then at least you have to throw it back up again, right? I like this.
Sure.
Let's play it. I think we can get it. I'll give you a little extra, okay?
Okay.
A little extra, like
You're
right
trying
So
to hit
expect
like
a lot of
quarter,
heat.
eh?
quarter, yep. Just stuff it there.
On this stone.
Give them a little extra here. Just the hair.
I think it'll still go that way.
A little extra
So
here.
come down really hard on this stone. Your shooter will redirect over there. That's fine. It's going to, if you do that, it's going to outcount this one. The big question is, where does this go? Does this go out? And they feel like because they're going to hit it so thin with so much weight, it will go across the top and in between the red and the yellow on the right.
Kathy, nothing on the intern side to try raise something. That hole looks really tight. I don't think you can get through that way.
It's pretty tight, and this is the way that you may be able to score multiple.
Here's Kleiter, big weight, and moves the yellow to the right. It is now Saskatchewan lying the 1.
Just have to catch a little bit more of it as he comes in the house. If he catches the yellow a little thicker, it would keep going. Watch as it comes in. Just that little bit thicker. That yellow one that is rolling in the 8 foot goes a little bit further.
Red just spun a lot.
Yeah.
You're thinking board here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Board. 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 Hit and roll low.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. Trying to hit like thick half.
Yeah.
11.5 cups. You nailed that weight, buddy.
Nail the weight.
Yeah, wonderful numbers, and he's having another great game this morning.
Yep.
Clean.
Clean. Well, curl.
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 Clean.
Curl. Curl. Clean. Curl. 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 Curl.
Oh, nailed the weight, nailed a shot, top button, behind cover.
But you've left the double back.
For 3.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Hard
I'm
to
not
say.
sure the triple. The double's there for sure for 2.
Curl, clean.
He was trying to roll low, so roll further to the right. And you heard the because of the stagger. Matt Hall pointed to the back stone. If you could make the triple to count 3, I'm just not sure if it'll catch without jamming.
And be careful, Kath, too, to not spin off the top and roll right out with your shooter, right?
You bet.
I think it's a little tougher than...
Should come up just a hair.
Well, it's always easy from up here, but a little tougher than it looks.
The double, for sure, gives you 2.
Well, he made an absolute beauty earlier in this game. Rylan Kleiter, final stone here in 9. Can he do it one more time? Make the triple, got the double, and yeah, that was the worry, Kathy. That was the worry, and a steal of 1 with that kind of weight.
All right,
3-point advantage, a tough one, as Alberta leads. Trevor Johnson here for Team Saskatchewan, the team out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon. And the scoreboard, I mean, hasn't gone Saskatchewan's way, but this young man's had a really nice performance this morning, Kathy.
Well, he was 100% coming into this end, and I think that it is particularly important knowing that he was 17th overall coming in. And so that may have been early nerves for Trevor, but he certainly found his footing this morning.
Yeah, his skip calls him, you know, our hard-working guy, the workhorse, the sweeping he does, what he brings to this team, invaluable. And obviously made the shots this morning.
Mine's good.
But we were chatting kind of before in commercial break, Kathy. The double, in theory, I mean, it looked pretty simple, but it looked it was
sharp.
It was sharp. They wanted to try the triple, and just not to be on that stone.
The triple was really tough. Maybe if you skinny the guard, but and I understand completely why they did that. They're playing the scoreboard. They know the team they're playing. They understand the analytics. You know, your percent of winning is 10% or less if you only take 1. And so what do? You gamble, and you cannot criticize them for doing just that.
Mine's good.
Min. That was my first.
Top 12.
Good room. Whoa, Josh is wrong.
Weight's good. Top 4.
It's gonna have to curl quite a bit.
You can
here,
knife
Jay.
it if you want.
T-line.
It'll get there. It'll get there.
T-line's top 4.
Line's getting good, Josh. Always Josh.
Don't gotta go weight ever.
Okay. Back. Okay, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Just gotta bury it. You gotta bury it.
Josh, yep. Whoa. You're good. You're good. Whoa. Nice spot.
Good.
Good, Maddie. Set.
Yeah. We've been keeping a close eye on Quebec, Northwest Territories, as Aaron Bartling looking for his first ever win at the Brier. Wow. Felix.
Oh, yikes. And just frustrated this morning, and why he's frustrated is right by the elbow at the back of the house. You see a stone that is in fact on. This is a hit for 2 and a 2-point edge to come home.
Whoa! Clean! Whoa! Girl! Whoa! Girl!
What an opportunity. Aaron Bartling. Oh, the shooter, and it hangs on. 2 on the board. 8-6. Northwest Territories leads after 9.
Line's good. Yep.
Small bump.
Whoa.
Small bump.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Small bump.
Clean. Whoa.
Team Kleiter just trying to use anything that they can to maybe get a jam from Team Alberta.
And you know what's up with Brad Jacobs? Just eliminate all stones, even your own.
I completely agree, and I feel like at this point they'll start hitting their own if they have to. It's just about get rid of anything that Ryland could use.
Yep. Hard. Whoa.
Oh, nice line.
Boy, Mark.
Good. Shoot. Oh, it can't be low.
Go, I know.
What are you trying to do there?
Like, easy hack, just through.
Through to hack.
Looks like Min. Yeah, just through is good.
Great sweeping.
Easy hack.
Clean.
Yep.
Just through. Just through. Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Big Trev.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Clean. Curl. 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 Curl.
And we'll tap the yellow again behind the tee line.
Yeah.
Trying to build something.
Yeah, nose is pretty good too, Brad. 10.5.
So, Kathy, we talked about, you can call it a softer schedule to start, and Brad said, you know, it's go time now against Kleiter. You know, he's got Purcell. Moybrook's played teams really tough at 3-1, and look who's left at the end, Mike McEwen. So the schedule for Alberta will now really ramp up if you want to qualify top 3. And I think it's fair to say the other pool is quite a bit tougher.
Yeah, we talked about it being the pool of death when it started, and you know, it's ranked by CTRS. The problem right now is that some of the CTRS teams have changed during the course of the year. They've had better results, worse results, and it is a very, very heavy Pool A. But you know, what you need to do for teams like Brad Jacobs is you don't care about the other pool, you just take care of your own business. But what a key matchup that will be. Final round robin game against McEwen, could be for first place.
And we want to give a lot of credit to this Kleiter team. His first time here, Trevor Johnson pitched a perfect game at Leeds, so
congratulations.
Good for him. And they're scrapping here in 10, trying to get something going.
There. Good spot, Jay.
But when you look back at this game, Kathy, a lot of positives. Kleiter made a couple of wonderful shots to keep his team in this thing. They didn't make a ton of mistakes.
They did not.
The problem is when they did, you know, Jacobs took advantage.
And I wouldn't even say mistakes. When they look back, they're going to see that hole that Brad Jacobs went through. If that guard of Kleiter's team curls another couple of millimeters, that shot's not there. Now Brad Jacobs has a more difficult shot. Could he have scored 2? Sure, of course. But not really big mistakes leap out at you. This has been a very well-curled game.
And Brad continues to just eliminate stones here in 10.
Hard. Yep. Hard bend. Hard bend. Hard.
Ebert leaning hard on the ice.
Attaboy.
And away they go.
Great shot.
And
it's not done yet.
Good sweep, Ben. Oh, sorry. Good sweep, Ben.
Is Ben wound up or not for this Brier? He's wired this morning.
Well, and I understand what Ben's doing. He's looking at no rocks in play. They're up 3. And well, it's like, all right.
Good luck to you too, buddy.
Have it your way.
I think Benny talked him into it. Well, Ben's from Saskatchewan, remember?
Good shooting in bed. Good luck to you, buddy.
There you go. It was good shooting. 100% game for Trevor Johnson. Kathy, that was an awesome game. 6-3 final. Jacobs wins undefeated still, but what a great game to watch.
Terrific game to watch, and I think that for the Ryland Kleiter camp, they're going to talk after this game and say, what do we need to do? Not much more. They just need to continue this play. They will be in the mix. And for this team, brilliant.
Good job, Coach.
Yeah, Paul Webster, the coach. Some fist bumps. Yeah, that was fun to watch. Game Stories brought to you by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. And for me, Kathy, I mean, Brad Jacobs. The draws, hits were perfect. I love Ryan Kleiter's game. He fought hard, but man, 97% for Brad Jacobs stands out.
Just such a wonderfully well-played game, and you know, it's a highlight reel for Jacobs, but I'll tell you, Ryan Kleiter got a highlight reel shot too.
Awesome stuff, and the future's very bright for this young guy and his team out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon. And one of the great stories developing this morning as well here in Kelowna is right next door, Sheet B, Quebec, Northwest Territories, and Jean-Michel Minot will pick it up right now in a 2-point advantage right now for the team from the north.
And Aaron Bartling is shot right on the lid. They're trying to play the in off, and that will over curl.
So there you see that big 3 jumps out
Nose isn't great.
for Aaron Bartling. That was in 7.
We're almost better high
Scored
side
the 2 and 9. So Quebec has the hammer, but down by 2. And right now, shot stone does belong to the Northwest Territories.
Actually, you clear the double. How does he get at that one?
Right, he freezes.
The kill of that, yeah.
A double might be the play.
Nervous times.
Timeout.
Aaron Bartling calling the timeout.
The double?
Or the just hit and get inside.
I think you just get low when you like flop on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
The nose hit's about the worst option, I think, though.
yeah, because then it just gives them that full two, the three. I think we do that.
It'd be nice to keep another one in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get like,
I don't know if a draw in there's a good play.
yeah.
Okay, let's play like the 10. We'll roll inside.
Okay.
Like there's air. There's lots of air, right?
There's an inch of air.
Yeah.
Or two.
Okay, it's a heavy board.
They're talking about playing quiet, wait, and roll in. Want to make sure that they get another stone in. I did hear at one point somebody talking about, do we just play the draw? If you want to get there, do you just come and sit on top? That is also an option. Not much that can be played off the two yellows at the top because they are locked.
For 13.
But you need to roll underneath.
What a great opportunity.
Close.
Northwest Territories, Aaron Bartling.
Close.
Curl. Close. Curl. Curl, curl, curl. Go hard, hard, hard. Hard, 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 hard.
And a little roll, still shot stone for the team from the north.
Just stayed there.
Meantime, Saskatchewan, Yukon, another well-played game, but it's Mike McEwen able to fight himself to another win, still undefeated as he beats Yukon 7-5 in Scoffin.
You don't have to win by a ton. You just want to make sure that you're playing consistently well, and that seems to be what the McEwen team is doing.
Ouais, mais ça va être dur de...
Fait que pourquoi on joue ça?
Ben, c'est quoi sinon, tu vois?
Le jaune. On est mort si on la fait pas, c'est sûr.
C'est ça. Moi, j'aimerais ça de faire jouer une dernière shot, là.
OK. Mais d'abord, c'est intern avec control.
Okay, so talking about coming off that stone, you've got a number of options. They initially talked about playing the thin yellow-red combo into the mix, the thin yellow-red and spin up.
Je l'aime, intern.
Après ça, il garde là, puis on a ça pour gagner.
Ouais, mais je la vois pas comme... Je pense que je l'aime avec intern, contrôle ou normal. On se met shot. On se met shot, là. Faut prendre deux, right?
Ouais.
Si jamais il nous donne une shot pour 3, correct, mais... Un quart avec les interns.
OK, fais ce que tu veux.
OK. T'aimes-tu ça normal?
Pas le choix, oui.
Well, that's his choice. He's saying if that's what you want to throw. I am not convinced Jean-Michel Menard agrees with this call. Still showing a number of options.
Ça, c'est le balai pour normal?
Oui.
So they've gone from control to playing normal. They're looking at the guard. There's a 2 yellow at the front saying that they can, the one on the left that is biting is something that they can run in on the last one if they have to. Initially, it was to throw a lot of weight and move a lot of granite. Now this is a little bit quieter weight.
Whoa!
Has to redirect.
Felix Dessalin, what's he got? Oh, what a shot. Rolls in, and Quebec lies the 3.
OK, il peut pas frapper l'extérieur, je pense.
Really good shot for Felix. Just a bit of a bad break with the shooter. Just coming across the top. He hits this thin, so he makes the yellow go away, but the shooter, watch it now. It starts to spin and goes into the opening between the guards. There is the spin. If he nutted it right behind, it would have been perfect.
But just had to make sure, though, you remove it, right? Sometimes you get caught in the middle.
Well, just the spin of playing that.
Think that'll kill it? How much room do you got?
Lots.
Okay.
Lots. You like an 8?
I was thinking 10. But the double and flop.
So there is some room. And what a moment, too.
Yeah.
This team out of the Hay River Curling Club, Northwest Territories. Aaron Bartling talked with us before the competition.
More ice.
What an opportunity. Bright lights, TV, to get that chance. And look at him now. It's the only sheet left. All eyes on him. Cameras on him. Pretty good crowd here this morning.
And the key is to get to the inside. He wants to make the double. Right now has that 2-point edge. Does not want to create a situation for 3. It's not the nose hit. This is the double.
Whoa. Gotta curl hard.
Oh, he's back on release. They have to work really hard.
Oh, man, got to get it by his own yellow. My goodness. That's a tough one. And Felix Esselan will escape with a win. Doesn't even have to throw his final stone.
Good game. Good luck. Good game. Good luck.
Well, I think Felix aged about 10 years in that game.
You saw his body language over by the boards at some points. But Quebec escapes with a win, and a much needed one, because as you know, Kathy, it is so tough to try qualify and be top 3. And look at that. That win improves him to 3-2, so he's in the conversation. Jacobs perfect still, as is McEwen, as is Gushue. Top 3 from each side will qualify for the playoffs. Great games this morning. Quebec escapes with a win. We'll tee up our afternoon coverage next here from Kelowna.
The 2025 Montana's Brier is presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By Kruger Products, the softest and strongest supporters for over 40 years. By BKT Tires, growing together. And by PointsBet, the official sportsbook and casino partner of Curling Canada.
Yeah, tough way to lose, but you know what? You got the future stars in the house, getting some autographs, all part of what makes the Brier so special. Fans from right across our great country taking in the action in person. What a game coming up. Draw 11, John Epping 4-1, Reed Carruthers 4-1. And remember, Epping has already beat Dunstone in that pool. If you could find a way to beat Carruthers, my goodness, goes a long way in ensuring you can be top 3 in your pool and qualify and move on to the playoffs here in Kelowna. That's the matchup coming up next later this afternoon, as Vic Browder, Joanne Courtney, Russ Howard, Kathy Gauthier have you covered right here on TSN. Awesome curling in our feature, Saskatchewan, Alberta, as Brad Jacobs remains perfect as we push to the playoffs. On behalf of all of us at TSN, thank you for watching our coverage. The beautiful Brier Tankard right here in BC.